Hi,
Hi,
Reg.
Reg.
Hi,
How's everybody doing?
I'm
I'm
doing
doing
fine.
fine.
How
How
are
are
you?
you?
I'm good.
I'm
I
good.
just
I
left the
just left the
office. I'm
office.
Hi, Reg.
driving home.
home.
So I
So
was
I
gonna go
was
on
gonna go on
Roku, and
Roku,
I still
and I
can,
still can,
but
but
it's just been
it's just
hectic
been
with
hectic
these
with these
children around
children
me.
around me.
Hi,
Oh,
Reg.
Hi, Reg.
oh,
Oh,
hi,
hi,
Ezra.
Ezra.
Hi,
Ezra,
Do you
Annie.
remember
do you
Reg?
remember Reg?
Okay,
Okay,
okay. Sorry,
okay.
Reg.
Sorry,
Hold on a
Reg. Hold
second.
on a
Look
second. Look
better. Look at the
better. Look at the
picture.
picture.
Do you remember
Do you
Reg from
remember
your
Reg
dad's
from your
house and
dad's house
everybody
and
was
everybody
sharing
was
an
sharing an
apartment?
apartment?
That's so
Now
cute.
say
Now
hi.
say
He said
hi.
hi
He
to
said
you.
hi to you.
Okay, hold on a
Okay, hold
Hi,
second,
on a
Tony.
Tony.
second.
And
And
Reg, this is
Reg, this is
Tony. Say
Tony. Say
hi.
hi.
Good, good,
Good,
good.
good, good.
Reg, this
Reg,
is
this is
Desi, and this
Desi,
is
and this is
Bella.
Bella.
Hi,
Hi,
Desi. Hi,
Desi. Hi,
Bella.
Bella.
Hi, Reg.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi,
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
Nice to
Nice
meet
to
you.
meet
Yes.
you. Yes.
So
So
we're live,
we're live,
Desi. I
Desi.
didn't tell you
I
we
didn't
were
tell you we
live,
were
but we're
live, but
live.
we're
Okay,
live.
baby, hold
Okay,
on a
No,
baby,
I
second.
can
hold on
see
a
it in the
second.
corner.
Desi, we
Desi,
lost
we
you now.
lost
Hold
you
on a
now. Hold on
second.
a second.
Did we?
Desi?
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 Bella, can you still see me?
Desi?
Desi?
I'm
Tony,
here.
stop.
Tony,
Tony,
stop.
stop.
Tony, stop.
Don't
Don't
ignore. If you
ignore.
hear
If you
Tony
hear
talk,
Tony talk,
ignore her.
ignore her.
Bella, can you
Bella,
hear
can you
me?
hear me?
I can hear
I can hear
everybody except for
everybody except for
Desi.
Desi.
I
How?
don't know what happened. I'm not really doing much. Okay, hang on.
You guys,
You
I
guys,
think
I
that
think
echo
that
is
echo
from
is from
Red's
Red's
driving.
driving.
Is it?
Desi, say
Desi, say
something.
something.
I don't know what to say.
Bella, you still
Bella,
can't
you
hear
still can't
Desi,
hear
huh?
Desi, huh?
No, I can
No, I
hear
can
her.
hear her.
Desi, you go
Desi,
out
you
and
go
come
out and
back
come
in.
back in.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Happy Leo, Salt and Pepper.
Oh, the echo disappeared just now.
What you say?
I
What
was
you say,
having a
Red?
crazy echo from everybody, but it just disappeared.
Yeah. I turned off all of my Wi-Fi. No, leave him alone. That's our brother. No,
No, it's
that's a.
good now. Now everybody isn't echoing, so it's perfect.
But I'm gonna let somebody in, and it might create an echo. So give me 1 second. Desi,
And we're back.
Desi,
Bella,
Bella,
Yes.
yes,
good,
good,
and no
and no
echoes.
echoes.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Bella, can you
Bella,
hear
can you hear
Desi?
Desi?
Should I say something? Hi.
Yeah, now I can
Yeah,
hear
now
you.
I
I was
can
like,
hear
I
you.
didn't
I
hear
was
her
like, I
say
didn't hear her
anything.
say anything.
Oh, okay. I just said, can you hear me? That was it. Okay. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the View from the Other Side. We're here. Oh, the echo is back. Desi is causing the echo.
A little bit.
Don't let it
Don't
drive
let it
you
drive you
crazy.
crazy.
Not
Okay.
Not
everybody's
everybody's
actually
actually
getting
getting
the
the
echo.
echo.
It's like,
Now,
okay,
it's
we're
coming
clear.
now, for sure.
Huh? In a minute. Oh, this is my
This
son,
is my
guys.
son, guys.
So it might
So it
happen
might
again.
happen
Just be
again. Just be
patient.
patient.
Hi, Bri.
Hey,
Hi,
man.
Bri.
Hey, man.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
What up,
Thank
Bri?
you.
Thank
You
you.
good, Red?
Hi, guys.
Reg, Brian was talking to you, but
Brian
the
was
kids
talking to
were
you, but the kids
over
were
talking them.
over talking them. I'm not through.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Hey, Tony. How you
Hey,
doing,
Tony.
baby?
How you doing, baby?
I miss you.
I miss you.
I miss you so much.
So much.
I live in
I
New
live
York
in New
now.
York now.
You say you moving to New
So you
York?
moving to New York?
New York.
New York.
No, baby.
No,
No.
baby. No.
He moved, remember?
He moved,
And you stayed here.
No, I'm
not.
not.
Huh?
You gotta put some clothes on you.
Right.
Right.
You
Put
used
some
to live
clothes
in
on
New
you.
York, and now you
Now
live in
you live in
LA.
LA.
But remember when
Look at
Brian was taking care of you, and his wife was taking care of you? Yeah.
Right?
No.
No.
Tell
I'm gonna show you how
Dave.
to play, but
Tell
I gotta get
Dave.
some clothes on.
Hey.
Bella, don't worry about the echo. It doesn't show up the same way when it uploads to YouTube. Oh, are your ears hurting? Bella?
What's that?
Are your ears hurting you?
Oh yeah, it's echoing and there's a delay.
The delay, yeah, I understand that. I wonder if I turn mine down, will I help you all? Does that help?
Yes, it does. It sounds like we're in a tunnel, so it's hard to hear everybody.
Say that again.
It sounds like a tunnel, and then it goes. So it's hard to hear everybody and understand.
Yeah, we might have to talk one by one. Hey, Reg. Maybe this is a good idea that you're here. Maybe I can get you to come and we can figure out what's going on. I know I have to turn all the Wi-Fi off. But I think that something's still not right. Maybe I can get you to come over and help me with it. Oh, I think I lost him.
It's a big echo every time y'all talk. I haven't said anything. But hi, everybody.
Yeah, it's for the air conditioner.
He's
Hey,
back.
Reg.
He's muted.
Hey, Reg.
Oh,
Reg. No.
He's muted.
What's with the delay?
Oh, I had mute my own. Sorry.
It's a little echo.
Yes. I was wondering if now that you're on the stream that maybe you can help me figure out how to make this flawless. Because there are some echo issues. Stop it, baby.
It's my fault?
No, baby. No, it's not you. It's everybody.
Dang.
But see, I don't hear an echo.
Do you hear the echo as well?
Somebody doesn't hear it.
No, me.
I hear it.
Desi's fine.
Yeah, you sound normal to me. Everybody sounds normal to me on my computer.
what?
You're coming across very normal,
actually.
I come
Yeah, I
across
don't hear
that.
echo. It's from Star
You don't hear the echo either.
The fire name.
Thank you.
Hold up. Okay, baby.
Bella, I turned the sound down. Hi.
Oh my God.
Hi.
You got
that
Nova? Just woke up.
How cute is she? Can't get mad at that cuteness.
Look at that face.
Nova.
Where you going?
Uh-oh. This looks like nap time.
No, she just got up.
I'm gonna come off my Bluetooth. Maybe I'm the biggest problem here.
Are you on two?
I got on my Apple. I'm on my Apple Bluetooth. Maybe I should take it off.
I don't see how that could be a problem, but
When I take it off, I usually can't hear you guys.
You want to be back?
What?
Bring Nova back.
Should I come on my Bluetooth? Is that what I should do?
I mean, we could
I'm
try
coming
it.
off. I'm leaving.
Okay.
But then I can't hear you guys.
Come here. You can come hang with us. So look at Jenny.
This is so cute. I can't even take it. Oh.
I got both lines for your birthday, Mom.
Does that help when I come on Bluetooth, guys?
No.
No, it's still happening.
I don't have an echo. What is happening?
Look at Nova.
Hi, Dad.
Where's my pet? You stole it?
Hi, Nova.
See, brother?
Hi, Blind. Hi.
You didn't want to wake up yet?
Huh?
Go back.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Who has Instagram? Instagram's in here. I'll follow everybody.
With Instagram? I have Instagram.
Huh? You have Instagram?
Yeah, it's the same as my name.
Ryan,
It just has a period in the middle. So Starseed period revolution.
Your hair looks so nice. It's like a little mohawk.
It does look nice.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Nice and healthy and shiny. Look at you.
yes.
Look at y'all African. Oh, I see what's going on. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Huh?
They're saying.
And after Beyonce, coming out. Yeah.
After Black is King.
This is cool. This is like Zoom, but what's different about it?
Extreme, a little different. It's supposed to be better, but we're having audio issues. Audio issues too. Which makes it weird.
What even just happened? I tried to full screen.
Reg, are you there?
I think he's live.
Reg is gone. Oh, he's back.
I was backstage.
Reg, I'm going to figure out how to make the sound.
You want me to come?
They come on. Brian, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Let me see Dave. I'm here. Hi, Dad.
Hey, Ezra.
I know. Bella, here or you hear the echo?
I hear anything that anybody saying.
I know.
That's so weird. I can hear everybody. What? I don't get it.
You're the only one I can hear, Debbie.
Me?
On a tunnel and delayed.
Okay, so now Tracy sounds underwater for me.
Do this. Daddy.
Yeah, it sounds.
Can we just restart you guys? Everybody can't understand us.
Yeah, they can't hear us.
Dad.
Yeah, we're live.
I am your nephew. He's my guy. He is my guy. We could start over, or if all else fails, we can do Zoom. It's too hard to go live.
I can't hear what.
I'm gonna put it in the chat.
He asked if we could start over.
America's not letting us rate Desi. What is that?
That means they can't hear us.
Private chat?
Yeah.
Oh, did I private chat?
It's
Oh, this is the. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of people in here. These are people that are watching us. There's a lot of people inside.
It's better.
I thought it was 3 of us.
Okay, so are we leaving?
Everybody get out. But I'll stay here.
I can't even hear you. I got my phone all the way up.
Okay.
Where's that pain? What?
Everybody can come back in.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, I'm gonna leave.
Bye. All right. Let's figure out how to play this game a little better.
Okay.
Hold on. Whew.
No, I can.
Hello.
Hi, Reg.
Give a McDonald's.
Shush.
Okay, so we're gonna go to Orange County.
Reg, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yes. What up? Oh, you bringing that?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't have an echo though.
No.
Reg, do you hear an echo?
Hold on.
It's one speaking after 2 people get in the room.
Bella, can you hear?
Yeah, there's still a delay.
I love you. Hear me. You hear me? Kinda.
Barely.
Let go.
Tony's gonna fix it for us.
Yes, Tony's gonna fix our echo.
What you say? Let go.
Bella, you sound great to me. I can hear you.
Let me see if I can my phone.
It's not coming across that way. I don't know.
If not, I'll just spectrum in and see how I could do this better.
Everyone is echoing except Desi and Bella. What?
Echo.
No more echoing.
Her name's Bella. Bella. That is big. Blah.
Oh, Tony.
Stop. I appreciate you.
I like his painting. That's nice.
My bad.
Yeah,
I can hear like me up there hitting the bong and everything. I can roll the just now. I was like, what's my computer?
I mean, Reg, I can't hear what you're saying.
Huh?
They're saying Reg is echoing. Reg, you're echoing.
You were better. Hard.
We should just call the show. We're just gonna listen, live stream and chill. It's fine. It's fine. It's a birthday stream and chill. That's what we're doing.
Psychic echoes.
Psychic echoes. I love that.
No.
Go home. You're drunk.
Reg, let me hear you.
You're muted, Reg.
Oh,
There we go.
Let me hear you. Say something again, Reg.
Huh?
Why is my disappearing?
Help.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Happy birthday, Tracy.
Yes, happy birthday.
Well, where's my video?
I don't know. Did you stop the cam by mistake?
I did not. I fucked it up. Fucked it up.
Wait, who said you fucked it up? I don't understand what's happening.
My sister.
Oh God.
It's how she talks to me. Oh my God, fix it up.
Hi, Stephanie. Leo gang, look at that.
Yes,
So many
yes.
Leos.
I'm the 16.
Oh my gosh, so many Leos. I can't take it.
We're the best.
I appreciate you guys the most, though. I appreciate Leos the most.
I love Leo.
Oh, you
I
really?
love Leo.
You guys are confident, and some of you all are a little too confident. And
Yeah.
but I appreciate you. You don't take it to a negative place, so I appreciate it.
Oh, Ella.
Yes.
Leo gang. As a Gemini, I appreciate the Leo gang.
Okay, Reg, you're lighting. I can't see your face.
Turn off the lights, Reg.
We sit on the other side of the table.
It's like broad day. And it looks like night over there. There you go. Well, Reg, while we're waiting for Brian to come back on, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Let me see. Block the TV. Here we go.
Such a Leo.
Nice house.
This is Kim's house. I'm not at my house right now.
Whose house is it?
Huh?
What were you saying?
Oh, this is Kim's house. Can you hear me?
I can. Don't worry about it. You're gonna come on YouTube. Some that worry.
Okay.
So yourself.
I'm Reg.
I'm
Tracy's web guy. I'm going through a weird thing right here. I got a bite. I'm so self-conscious about it. I'm like, because I see it. But anyway, I'm Reg. I'm Tracy's web guy. I work on making sure her website works for you guys. You reach out to her. Aside from that, I work on the solar industry. That's me. I'm 30. I'll be 31 next week. I'm having fun with this stuff. No.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're gonna be 31 next week. I think you're literally 8 days after me.
Yep.
That's so cute.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So you're my web guy.
Yes.
And the one that did my website. And really helped that website to become more. We've kind of down to kind of up it, so we kind of went back to only the basics. Now we're trying to get up and ready, which is exciting.
Very exciting.
And Reg, I conversation with you, so all the passwords and all good to go. Pick your head up.
Say that again.
I said I had a conversation with you. Put your head up. Ask you to do something. Support. I'm just looking at your forehead, babe. If you don't sit down. All the passwords straightened out.
What are all of them?
For Roku,
Yeah.
Jeez, I don't know. We went through a lot.
I have them all.
Oh, you said you have them all. Okay.
So we're 100 good to go.
Okay. So for a little context as to what we're talking about, we've been having a problem getting Roku set up for you guys. So yeah, now that we got the passwords, I'll make sure that it's set up so she can do everything for you guys to watch.
I don't know if we go on Saturday. We're already happy with the sound, and I'm not sure how to Roku picture on StreamYard.
Okay.
And that's why
We
we're
have to
up
do it
today.
and figure it out.
Yeah. I need to figure something else out. And I have cable, Ethan, but all of a sudden it's not working. I need to ask you to look at it.
Okay.
So maybe Tuesday we can look at this. Now that you're on this, maybe you can help me with this.
Let's see. I'm reading the comments. Somebody said mute. That's what I was commenting to. But yeah, I can always work with you. Because like it's echoing really bad. So like it's making it like a little hard right now for us to each other and talk. You're muted, Tracy.
I muted on purpose because I thought it would make a better difference.
I'm not sure.
Can you hear me, Reg?
Yeah, I had muted. I was just reading some comments.
And in case maybe we can take a look at what how we can fix the issues. Because everybody does it. Everybody else does it. And everybody else can stream y'all. Why am I in trouble?
I don't know. It's my first time using this, so I can't even say I can help you right now. Really.
I don't expect it right now. Like why can other people do this? I have trouble. That doesn't make sense to me. So
they might work. Hopefully.
I'll just
Hope it's
and we'll do whatever we can to figure it out. And then I'll Spectrum. I think it really Wi-Fi might be the biggest problem. And I up the Wi-Fi for this. Happy birthday, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, see, I don't hear that.
Bella, don't worry about the delay. I apologize. Don't answer on the feed because I want to make sure one day even if there is a delay, but when it uploads to YouTube, the delay is there.
But that's not the issue. The issue is that we're having trouble hearing you now. And it's echoing now.
I can't understand anything you say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if we can't hear you now, we can't respond to questions. We can't have a conversation. Like we're having issues hearing you now. I am. I can't speak for everybody. There's a really bad echo when you talk, and then you're in and out.
Okay.
And honestly, Desi seems like the only clear person I can actually hear.
Okay.
Without an echo.
So I'm gonna pull you out. And let's see if the three of us can keep going. If not, cut it off. I don't fake it anymore. Yeah.
No worries. I'm on a computer. I don't know if that
Same.
Same.
You're fine. Jackie.
Okay.
You can't hear me.
Yeah, you're hard to hear. Like you're going in and out. Like real bad.
They can hear you fine. It's not echoing, it's Starsky. But everyone else is talking about the echo. You're saying someone echo. For sure needs the background. Jesse, you and Bella, you. And let me see from the problem. I know it is. So, can you guys hear me without the echo? Can't hear me.
I hear you better now.
You hear me better, but only because it was muted or because Desi and Reggie muted.
I'm not sure.
I hear you fine
Yeah,
now.
it's perfect for me now.
Desi, you might be the problem, ironically, today.
I don't know why.
Come back now,
It
Desi.
just came back on.
Desi, the problem.
Don't know.
Okay. I
Okay.
think at least we can get a reading done. If we figured out the problem, then we just have to have you mute, Desi. And then when you're ready to talk, we'll
I mean, that's fine. I might also be on a different browser. I'm using Chrome today. I'm not using Firefox. So that's
And
also,
do you normally use
yes.
Yes.
So what I'll do is I'll leave and I'll come back on Firefox.
Okay, try it. I appreciate that. At least we found out the problem. Thank you.
Little Ezra.
Little Ezra, Reggie's talking to you. Little Ezra, say hi.
Hi, Reg.
How have you been?
Good.
That's good. I miss you. It's not the same with you running around the house.
Me too. Yes, Tony,
Well,
you too.
I
And
miss
getting
you,
in everybody's business and waking you up and standing over you while you're sleeping.
You remember the story.
Nightmare. Bella, my son and Reg all used to live together with his what it wasn't his wife yet. And
The
the
fiance at the
sister.
time.
So it was like 4 people in the house.
And I left the Tracy a long time.
Yes.
And
Let me talk, baby. Girl,
I
you
live-
let me talk.
I
Look, Tony, you know she'll get you. You better chill out.
Airplane. I came on the airplane.
Yes, Tony.
Oh, you did. When did you guys
Yeah.
take the airplane? Where'd you go?
All the way.
All the way. Listen to me. It's my birthday. And we're going to make it about me today.
Okay.
Oh, good. Chauncey's back. Hold on a second. Add to stream.
Thank you, Phoenix.
Hey, Bri.
Hey,
Hi,
So
Blind.
we
know-
found out.
I didn't know what to do. I tried to call you. It
Lizzie.
kept going to voicemail, so I just went back to the.
Hi, Jay. Hi, Nova.
We found out it might have been Desi.
Look at their African.
You see Auntie
Oh
Tony?
no way!
Hi, Day.
Did y'all disband her from the squad?
Oh.
No, we copied your
Yeah,
painting.
no.
We copied your painting.
Oh, cute.
Girl, please. I'm so African right now. I'm about to board a plane.
I'm jealous. Look,
Do you see Ezra?
yeah,
How could you be jealous? I'm copying you guys.
I know, but I want some more now.
What is it?
It's just a little silver makeup.
Oh, it's a makeup.
You got your
So what
African,
is it?
Huh?
you got your African warrior paint on.
Oh no, I'm a nigga.
Oh,
my God! I'm going to kill you! Stop it! I'm going to kill you!
Yeah.
Oh my God! Go. No. You caused so much damage. You took us back 35 years. You took us back to the civil rights movement now. What's that, 50 years ago?
Yeah, 50 years ago.
There's nothing I could do with her. She's crazy.
Of course she's crazy. She's been crazy for 100 years.
I know that.
Say hi.
All right, Tony, you're making me crazy.
So cute.
She still calls black people colored people. So what can you
I
do?
know. Why?
She says that.
I don't know why.
Remember when she was in a house in a nursing home and she was like, what colored girls taking
These
care
colored girls.
of these colored girls?
I should say it in a positive way. I love that color.
I said
girl.
2018.
Yeah,
What are you? I'm Brian.
What are you doing?
Go back here, and if you're about to go off, and if you go off, I'm gonna be pissed. The N-word was bad enough. You do anything extra, I'm letting you go with the N-word.
No.
All right. Okay. Scary as shit. Desi, let's try it one more time. Hold on, guys. Or else we're gonna kick Desi out.
Oh, what?
Kick me out.
Ah!
Get me out.
That's fine.
Fine.
It's pretty okay right now.
It's better, Desi.
Okay, so I shut down my MacBook Pro. I'm on my Lenovo now, and I'm on Firefox. So
Cool,
we're good.
cool.
It's much better. Thank you.
I'm glad.
Look at him. And you still look pretty. You
Thank
are
you.
just growing. There's
What you trying to
something
say?
that is just working it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right? This is Desi. Every time I mention her, he knows you want it. And he goes, I heard that name. And then he goes, who's Desi?
Me.
This is the one I worked.
Oh, that's so cool. Who is that?
This is the one I worked on the Ogun project.
Right.
Yeah.
He loved it, by the way.
I know. My back.
I'm so glad. I like.
my bad.
She was like, I'm sending it to my son, and I was like, oh my gosh, I hope he likes it.
Yeah, I loved it.
I was worried
I'm so
about
glad.
Desi liking it because she's a teacher and all the grammatical stuff. But you know, Ezra, get down.
Moving
So many things happening here. What's the program that we use? It helps with all the grammatical errors, so it's okay. I forgot.
Yeah, it was fine. It just needed to be edited for clarity and tone, and that was it.
Yeah.
I didn't even change. I added a few things, a couple references. That was it. The rest of it was all you.
My own son said, "Who wrote it?" My own son doesn't know the steps of his mother. My own son.
I was trying to hear.
He has no idea the gifts that run through me. I was like, I did. Like, me. It's making me nervous. So, listen, since we got everything fixed, Desi,
Yeah.
you
Yep.
were the problem.
Sure.
Wish myself a happy birthday. I did have a candle. It literally said happy birthday.
You just put an incense facing.
And then I lost it.
What's that? That's not a candle? That's an incense?
It's
That's what I was thinking.
You
She
know-
put incense.
She will improvise. Like she is queen
Bella, it's
improvisation.
incense. Well, that's what a psychic use. I had a candle, I promise you. So, no, we're going to use incense and it's going to work.
That's such a
Yeah,
good
of course.
I'll blow it out.
No, don't blow it out. My
As I said, I'll blow it out.
God. We don't blow out candles. Spiritual people do not blow out candles.
1,
2, happy birthday. 3. Happy
Happy
birthday
To you.
Tracy.
We're at a sing. Happy birthday to you.
Get over here. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dear Tracy.
It's way early.
We are.
Happy
Birthday
birthday
to you. This is the worst.
Anymore. She literally said no more birthday. She goes, and anymore. Listen, happy birthday to all the Leos out there. Reg, you're a part of this. Happy birthday. Happy birthday
Thank
to
you.
all the Leos. Leo love. Thank you, Kiana. Thank you, guys. All right. So because I don't snuff out candles, I blow it out. No, everybody wants to blow out my damn wishes. Reg, now that we have tell the world who you are. Reg,
Again.
talk about yourself. Tell them that you're my web guy and that you could help them too.
Oh, yes. I do websites. Okay, again, I'm Reg. I'm Tracy's web guy. I'm Tracy's web guy. I help her with everything as far as her website. This week, we're going to be troubleshooting the rest of the Roku that should be up. We just had a couple of little kinks that happened, and now she got all the passwords, and now we could finally get back into the thing. It's like it was locking us out for some reason. But other than that, I work on mainly websites, and if anyone needs solar on their home. So you need a website or you need to like get some solar going. So this way you can offset that high electric bill. I'm the person to talk to. So I think that's the best way to explain me in a nutshell.
Nice.
Awesome. And I'm going to text you after this, Reg.
Say that again?
Hey, Bella.
Oh, I was saying Tracy gave me your number last week. I'm going to text you after this because I need help with my site.
Sure.
Yay.
Yes, if you guys want a website, what I love about Reg is that he's personable, right?
Tracy, I'm gonna come back in on my phone real quick because I gotta actually leave the house. So I'm gonna just jump on the phone.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Okay. So you were saying about your website. Yeah.
Oh, he's very personable.
Yes.
Very personable. I mean, of course, I take advantage of him because he's my son's friend.
Yeah.
Down the hatch.
You know? And he's really been very supportive because my son and his wife moved out of LA.
Mm-hmm.
And so I appreciate, you know, his support, especially for still trying to live my life through Zoom.
This is why I don't like
So,
chocolate cake.
Bella, you really will be able to appreciate him. I promise you.
No, I trust you fully. If you recommend him, then I know he's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now can we open it?
You know what's interesting? I've been trying to create a website forever, right? And even Reg knows me. He told me about his services a year before I used them.
Wow.
Because I'm a procrastinator.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a Leo thing. Like, we'll jump in the fire, we'll jump through the wall, but sometimes we'll take a year to decide if that's what we want to do. It's just a weird thing for us.
Gotcha.
True.
I mean, if you think about the lion, when the lion's in the cave and all the animals are walking past, and the lion's like just licking its claws, and they're like, "You're so lucky I'm not hungry because I'm not gonna bother with you." But when we get hungry or mad, that's the two things: hungry or mad. Boom, we go do what we need to do. I started. It took me a year to invest with Red, and it had nothing to do with anybody else but my own procrastination.
Gotcha.
Once I started investing with him, I was like, why didn't we do this earlier? And he goes, you didn't want to do that. Like, it was up to you.
Right.
And Reg, what did you tell me about Roku? Because you said the same thing recently.
Yeah, I was
And
like,
my only
because we were supposed to
problem with
launch
Roku
like a month ago, but I knew she had got a little bit of cold feet more so because she just wanted it to be perfect. and she didn't feel it was perfect. And I was like, I can't rush her. I know how to like operate with her. I was like, let me wait because she gonna call me with the conversation and it's just gonna roll. And literally last week it started and here we are.
She tried to blame it on the retrograde, y'all. She tried to say, oh, no. I'm not going to start because it's Mercury retrograde and shit can fuck up. And I'm just like, I'm listening like, you're right. But the whole time I knew what it was.
Mercury retrograde.
I blamed it on anything I could.
You did.
Summertime. Well, start something new in summertime. Like,
and I'm just listening like, yep, the retrograde. That's it. Technology, yep. Meanwhile, I knew it was going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I can't wait till you launch on Roku. It's going to be amazing.
yes, I'm afraid that I really got to figure out how to get this on Roku, though. I'll figure it out with Reg.
Yeah.
Because Roku makes me work from my computer.
Yeah.
So I got to make sure that I can mirror on my TV and maybe do it like I did it before by mirroring, but I don't want to have any echo issue like we did today. So we'll figure everything out.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm just going to use, for me personally, I'm just going to use this computer from now on instead of my MacBook Pro. No shade to MacBook.
Figured it out, Desi. It's okay. I'm glad we figured it out. I can
Me
see
too.
the frustration in all of y'all.
Yeah.
Me frustrated. And
Yeah.
I was about to shut this shit down. I'm like, I can't do this on my birthday. So at the last minute, to find out that it was your Safari, Chrome.
Yeah, it's Chrome
Ezra's like,
and my TV. It's a
to
mixture.
discover that is a good thing. At least we know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I appreciate you, Bella, and Desi, staying on long enough to figure it out.
And we appreciate everybody's patience too in the chat while we were figuring out our audio issues. Thank you so much for being so patient with us. You know how we are, you know how it is, you know what you're getting. So don't trip.
Yes.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to let everyone know before we move on that my son and my daughter-in-law are amazing BLM. What do you call it? Not protesters. What do you guys? BLM.
Organizing.
Wait, help me with the language. I'm not young.
Listen.
anymore.
We're
I
organizing.
just call them revolutionaries and
What you say?
and I applaud them. Like, that's it. Revolutionary.
Revolutionaries.
They're amazing.
They're picking up the weight in their community.
Yes.
And the only blacks in their community is Day's family.
No, there's
Yes. You're the only blacks. Yes.
my family.
Huge family.
It's a really big family.
You'll meet people and they'll be like sparks. You know?
No.
I even met Friday. Who was that woman that we met? She looked totally unblack.
Unblack.
Well, we were in Walmart and she was like, she's a Sparks too. And I'm like, no, everybody is Sparks.
She's married to somebody.
Oh yeah, I know.
She married. She was married to somebody.
All right. I was like, everybody's a Sparks here.
I know.
But it's a beautiful thing. I really appreciate what has happened with you guys since the COVID. Like, to find yourselves, to discover the newness since the COVID. And I've been telling everyone, Day, I don't know if you're watching my videos, because I know you've been ridiculously busy, but I've been telling everyone, what is the COVID saying to you?
Yeah.
How is the COVID talking to you? What is the COVID bringing change? Like, what is it? I mean, it's different for everyone, right? Not everybody can be a BLM, revolutionary. Not everybody can. I can only do it my way, and I do it through videos. I know, Bella, you've been donating some of your readings to Black Lives Matter stuff.
Oh, that's
I can
awesome.
only do it our way.
Yeah.
Desi and I are writing, you know, without even knowing what Beyonce was doing. Desi and I started writing
Yeah.
about the Orishas. Hi, Dee Dee. Thank you for the super sticker, sweetie. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Oh, you folks have 3 slices of the cake.
Oh Lord.
Oh. This is a woman that never eats. She never eats. Like, she eats in small portions, but 3 cakes she needed to have. 3
Listen,
slices.
how do you turn down cake? You don't. Just saying. Somebody puts the plate in front of you, you take it. No questions asked. I'm not understanding the problem.
But wait, I have literally raised this family on not having cake. Brian used to go to parties, birthday parties, when he was like 6 and 7, and they would hand him cake, and he'd go, "No, thank you," and they would get mad at me. They would be like, "What are you doing to him?" And I was like, "He doesn't eat sweets. Why is that a bad thing?" They would yell at me. And then my sister used to say, Brian, I don't know if you remember this. My sister used to say, "Come to my house so you can have designer cereal."
Oh, I do remember that.
Because I would only feed you no name brand, no sugar.
Wow.
Yeah. I
I
wasn't
think my
trying
connection broke. I can't hear nobody.
sweets. I wasn't trying to like create the hell my mother created for me.
He was getting kicks. That was it. Kick cereal.
Worse.
Damn.
I wish your kicks would be designer. Worse. I'm talking about Kroger brand. I'm talking about no name.
Puffed corn
Yes.
cereal.
Yes.
Puffed
With no
puffed
sugar.
rice.
Yes. Yes. I was a terrible person.
It was just
to like no sweet.
It was just called cereal in a white box with black writing. Just cereal.
He used to do 20 flips before school. And I couldn't understand what the problem was. And it was right after he took cereal in. Took the designer cereal out. I had a normal kid again.
A normal kid.
So Brian, are you big on cereal? Are you big on sugar now?
So you know.
Yo, I have sugar. I have crazy sugar like fits. Like,
I don't know if someone can hear me.
Yeah, like I really like peach things, but I'm not on
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
Like in like 3 months,
Yeah.
every time I go to the gas station, I'm with peach. And
Gotcha.
It'll always be like
I
a
don't know
small,
if
very
anyone-
specific thing. Like, you won't eat all the candy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you
It'll be like
type
one
not
thing.
here?
Like 3 months.
So he's particular about the candy.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm a cupcake person.
Tracy, are you opening presents?
Well, it's my sister's present to me.
That's so. You could have said something. We want to see. How nice.
And a happy birthday. You had this for your birthday.
Yeah.
Girl,
She passed it to you,
sharing
sis.
happy
There you
birthday.
go.
Who that from? Oh, Tom. That's so
How
nice.
cute is that? And I guess this is a gift card, but I don't know. I can't really tell how much is on it, but I'll check it later. Hold on a second, Tom.
How
Ezra,
nice.
read this.
A timer. That's so cute.
Ezra.
And a pillow.
How cute.
And the last thing Ezra gave me was a necklace.
How cute.
That's so sweet.
He says, and it was held because I actually took him to
Walgreens.
listen, I took him to the dollar store to get the present, and getting him to focus on me was like hell. He could only focus on himself. Here's a car. Tony's like, Here's a coloring book, sis. I'm like, if you people don't start thinking about yourselves, about me, like I'm literally in a dollar store going, fucking think about me. Like, just ruining the whole moment.
They both wanted you. He wanted you to get the car. She wanted you to get the coloring book. So when we got home, he could play with the car. She played with the coloring book. It's genius. It's kind of genius.
And then Brian and Jay, these two tried to deliver this without telling me.
Oh my gosh, how beautiful.
They tried to deliver it.
Did you see the note?
So finally goes, he said something. He's like, are you home? And I'm like, yeah, I'm home all day, but I was really out in the street. And then he's like, can you go downstairs to the gate? Look at this. I'm going to read this. Happy birthday, Mom. Brian called me. Oh, should have added an extra. Brian calls me Ma, like the sheep. Ma. On his phone, literally M-A-A-A-A-A-A.
Oh,
We're so, hold on, baby. We're so proud of you and all the hard work that you're putting in the culture. Oh.
Yay!
Happy birthday to the best glamour.
Glamour? What is a glamour?
Why you hating?
What is a glamour?
I'm totally a glamour.
Oh, glamour.
This is so cute.
No. Glamour. Not grand. Don't call me grandma.
Grandma. You know why, Ezra? It's because she's glamorous. She's a glamorous grandma. Grandma. How the flowers smell? Smell delicious? They smell amazing?
Smell like
They're
eggs.
beautiful. They smell.
They smell like eggs.
A garden or a forest?
Hi, T. Harmon.
Instead of red roses, there's orange.
Well, you know, I love roses. They don't need to be red. But last year, Brian and Ezra both gave me separate flowers, and I don't know who did what, but one of them gave me sunflowers only, and the other one gave me roses only, because those are my favorite flowers. So, flowers always, and this is a beautiful. These are called status flowers. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but they're actually very good luck.
Oh, nice.
Very, very good luck.
We did that on purpose.
Status flowers. One of my favorite flowers to add to the bunch, and they're very much good luck flowers. And they dry out easily to put in your candles, so that's really cool. All right, guys. I want to thank you, Brian.
Tracy, let me say something really quick. So I need to say, I have a box for you. It's in the corner full of Japanese goodies. And I need your address because I got all, I live in Japan. So I just as I've been like going around and living my life, I've been like picking things up. Sort of like you, how you've been picking things up for me. I've been like, we can do a box exchange. So like, it's here. I need your address. I'm looking at it right now. Like, so I need your address so that I can send you this box of, I don't know, again, you know how the post office is for the COVID too, but it's going to get to you. I promise. Even if I have to FedEx it, it's fine.
But send it regular mail because it's already going to be expensive. But I'm honored.
But I'm not worried about it.
I'm so excited to receive Japanese goodies.
Yes. And now that I'm thinking about it, I have to take the candies out the box because I forgot that you were, sorry. So I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the candies out.
Anti-sugar?
I'll send them to Brian. I'll send them to Brian and Dave. They can have the plum candies and Nova. Right. Little Nova can have the plum candies. So
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, is my daughter in love. Nick, Nova.
I know.
Tell your mother how much I love her. You just stepped right in front of her. By the way, this is a very strong character. of a little girl, no different
Oh
than
my
Ezra. I don't know what kind of these kids are being born nowadays, but she's got her own mind. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Elena. Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Black Pearl, Eric Martinez, Crazy Sexy Cool. Thank you, everyone. So, guys, we're going to continue on with the radio show. I think Ezra wants to talk to you. Do you want to maybe call him now or call him later?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll call him now.
Now?
Yeah.
All right. Can you do it from this one? Do it from this one and just do it in the bedroom. All right. I love you. You know how to turn it on?
Yes.
I love you. Bye.
Oh.
Eva. Bye. I love you.
Bye.
Bye.
It was nice to meet you guys. The
Yeah, it was
baby's
nice
so
to meet you.
beautiful.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Listen to me. I'm like my son. Nice to meet you.
I love you, Mom.
Love you too. Thank you for the. I said, do you know how to do it? Give me the thing. I asked. It's like, do you know how to do it? Yes. You don't. It's okay to say that you don't. You just press it and look, it comes on.
Oh,
jeez.
okay.
Do you know how to work it? Yes.
Yes.
My home.
Bella, I hope she was
Go ahead.
talking about Ready Whip because
What's Ready
Yeah,
Whip?
I never heard that before. I was like, did I miss something on a previous show that I wasn't on, and it was like an inside joke that I missed out on?
yeah, I was like,
I was like, let me just ask him a comment.
No, somebody was saying they wanted some cake, but they needed some. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it on camera.
Oh, she said cream in
It's
a can.
my
She said
birthday.
squirty
Keep it
cream.
clean. No Ready Whip.
Okay.
Yeah, no, she said cream in a can. Okay.
Okay, Ready Whip. Whew,
I
child.
just never heard it like referred to that way, and I was thinking that's what it was, but I was like, maybe it's a joke I missed.
Same. I was like, is this a dirty joke? Did I miss something?
I bet it came from a guy. Only a guy would produce a dirty joke out of this.
No, that was us with the dirty minds in the gutter. That was totally us.
Okay. I was watching the Cardi B interview on the Breakfast Club before we started, and so she was talking about the new song, so I think my mind was already in that space.
We're supposed to get out of here, huh? You stuck around. Sorry,
That's all right.
Hear you.
we can't hear you, man. Mom, we can't hear you.
What did you say?
We can't hear you, Tracy.
10,
Stay
5.
right there.
Oh, don't move. I'm bad at it. Don't move. I was like 10, 5. 5 twice.
Oh, that's what you guys. I never knew that that's what it was called in England. How cool! You guys always have like the coolest names for stuff.
I know. Now I'm gonna start calling it squirty cream, and people are gonna look at me like I'm a nutcase. But that's what I'm gonna say. I love that squirty queen.
Oh, she
Squirty.
left.
She'll be back. Like sometimes she's in and out, but she'll be back.
She
I
left
hope
the-
she'll be back. There she is.
Did you guys?
I still can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Brian, tell them about your album you have out.
Oh, I got an album out called I Won't Move.
I won't move.
She's my sister-in-law, my wife's sister. It's 3 songs.
And Nova.
Oh, Nova's on it. But check out all my songs. I've got great songs. I got stuff.
Well, how do they find you, Brian?
Oh man, how do I put it? How do I type it?
The album music.
How do I type it in the comments so people can see?
In the comments.
You have-
Right there. The
you have
comments
to-
are right there. You don't see it?
No, but he can't type in them. He has to go into YouTube to type it.
I gotta go to YouTube. Oh my god.
He has to go on YouTube.
Yeah, I have to open YouTube in another window to type in the comments. I can
Oh,
just
so
see
y'all
them.
are talking through YouTube when you.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. That's too much. This one- I'm
And Nova's like, I want to talk.
Right now.
She wants to be. camera.
Love
on
it.
his computer. So
Oh, it's
just-
backwards. It's
Right.
back. Is it backwards? No, it's not. It's not.
No, it's not backwards.
This is me on Instagram and Twitter. And then from here, you can find links to my music and stuff.
All right, Brian.
Okay.
Let
Let me see if I can type it.
give me your name again. How do you spell your name?
Oh,
See if I
LX
can type it in the chat.
Go ahead.
Chauncey. CHAUN
LXV, right?
LXVE.
Hang on.
Oh,
Nova.
I put it in the chat.
Both of you.
Oh, there you go.
Did.
Oh, good. Everybody's adding it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
And it's on Instagram and Twitter, right?
the baby hit me and then she cried.
She knows how to play the daughter role. That's
She
what
was
you like.
about it.
That's exactly what a daughter does.
That was
She
so
hit him and
funny.
he looked at her like, and she was like, oh.
Oh, you did it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Love Chauncey.
Bella put it in and I put it in.
I'm a follow backer. Follow me, I follow back. And this is my wife, and she's a writer and a poet
Thank you.
and an activist, and she's amazing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you follow me and then you see a picture of her, click the picture, you'll see her name and follow her too.
Yes. And the other thing I want to be able to say about this couple here is that I think I raised a really good man.
You did.
I think. I don't know. You don't know when you put them
Not
on the
to
street.
brag or anything.
Not to brag or anything. But you don't know until you push them out in the street.
Yeah.
And I love that you found Day.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, ladies, I talk to my people and I talk to my women. Find a man that lets you be you.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Lets you be anything. Lets you be
And that's what you do.
vivacious. Lets you be sad. Lets you be depressed.
Yeah.
Lets you talk about past family issues and
Yeah.
on Sunday and lets you say on Wednesday, and it's the same story.
Yeah.
But find a man that lets you be all of that and a bag of chips and sink in that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so proud of the way you two are operating. And don't get it twisted. I'm hella proud of me. I don't get involved in none of y'all business. I look at the shit that y'all do and I go, let me know how that works out. And you guys work it out. And you know why you work it out? Because there's no fucking interference from me.
Yeah.
There's no interference, which means you guys don't let nobody interfere with your lives.
Yeah.
No one.
That's true.
And if anybody interferes with your life, even if they're family, release them.
Yeah.
So true.
Let them go.
Yeah.
Because no one is allowed to ruin what God put us under.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Come on, Trade.
Let me drop this and drop that and drop. Girl, please.
What is she talking about?
What she want?
She disciplining me. She's like, Tracy, come on. Like, don't discipline me. As crazy as she gets, I get disciplined.
Oh
All
my
right,
God.
guys. I love you both.
All right,
I
sir.
love you.
Thank
I
you
love
for
you.
my flowers. Thank you. I love them.
Yay.
Thank you.
They're so nice.
It
We
is
love you.
nice.
Love you.
Okay.
Nice to meet you guys.
Happy
Oh, it was
birthday.
nice to meet you too.
Guys.
It was
Mom.
nice to meet you. I'll tell you guys after.
Yeah. Sure.
Ezra, give me some water.
All right, ma.
Bye, babes.
Bye.
Bye.
I love the shoe. Yes, Tony. You're amazing. Is he even right size? How do you know what size I am?
How sweet.
This is size 8. It's fine. Thank you, lovey. Thank you.
Call my dad.
Go call your dad, babe. Okay, let's get some readings done.
Okay.
I want to hear what you and Bella have to say about what, Eddie? What are we doing?
The industries. So I'm gonna look at education. Moving forward in the COVID, what it means, what education is going to look like in the coming weeks, months, school year. And I feel like it's a propos because I am a teacher and I kind of need to look into that for myself too. Just saying. But I'm definitely going to look at it from a United States standpoint. So I just kind of want to see where everything's going with regard to education. See if I can get anything on Betsy DeVos as well. And so yeah, we're gonna be doing the industries. Tracy, what industry are you doing? You decided?
Sure, I'll do it on the fly. I had several, but I was.
You did.
Yeah, but I'll do it on the fly. I'll let the both of you go first, and then I can think while you guys are talking.
Okay.
I might do rental cars.
So travel?
No, travel's too big.
So just rental cars?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Bella. Any industry?
I'm gonna do the post office since that's a huge thing that everybody is being affected by. And you know, Tracy spoke earlier about what did the COVID do, and so many people are opening up businesses, and we need the post office if we're opening up a business that ships anything.
Absolutely. Yes. And especially with, Trump trying to mess with those voting, the absentee votes.
Yeah.
Just saying. Okay. So what's around the education industry? I haven't pulled cards. I'm sorry. Uh-oh. She left us. Okay. We're back.
Oh, here she comes. We can't hear you, Tracy. And there she goes again.
Okay. What is around the education? I don't even know if I call it an industry. I guess to some degree, there are for-profit schools, but I suppose it's an industry.
Everything that happens in the American education system is influenced by money from the federal government.
So, and it is an industry, and plus, lobbyists have brought in, there's so much going on there. So it is an industry, really. And charter schools are an industry for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course.
We're trying to figure some things out.
Okay, I can hear you now, Tracy.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Why are you so mad, Tony? She's sitting back there scowling.
What you say?
Oh, I asked Tony what was wrong because she was back there with a mad look on her face.
Who knows? This is what I do.
Yeah. It's messed up.
With both Tony and Brian. I'm just like,
Okay. Should I go? Because this is a lot.
Talk to me. What is it?
I feel like the education system itself is going to be forced to transform. As more and more children fall ill, there is a Pentacles person. She showed up as a Queen of Pentacles in my hand, but here she's showing up as a Knight of, I think it's a she. There's a Knight of Pentacles who's really worried about where this is going. But I think as more and more people fall ill, but she's trying to defend. Okay, so I think this is Betsy DeVos. I think she's trying to defend sending children to school. But the reality is there's just people are going to I think kids are going to be too sick. They don't realize that the plan that they have in place right now is self-sabotaging.
Thank you.
I think a lot of people have lied about. There's something here about a lie concerning the kids. Like they're going to lie about the numbers of kids that are getting infected, getting sick. Like there's something, they're going to lie about numbers. They're going to lie about, there's a lie here. In an attempt to get themselves out of the mess that they've created. I think I'm getting that there are going to be parents that are going to decide that it isn't worth it, that it's just not worth it to send their kids to school, and they're going to hang on to them. They're going to hold them back. Like not hold them back as in like holding them back a grade, but I think a lot of parents who were initially on board with sending their kids to school, once they find out about this lie, because I think the truth is going to come out about it. Once they see kids getting sick, once it's like nobody's going. Even though I think it'll still be open. I think Betsy DeVos, Trump, they're going to try to save face, but I think the damage is already done. And I think even though they're going to keep the schools open in an attempt to save face, I think parents are ultimately the decision makers if they're going to be the ones to say, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I see a massive teacher walkout too, in at least 8 states.
Okay.
A massive teacher walk, like massive strikes. I see teachers just kind of walking out. And I don't mean like in this county or in this district. It's a statewide thing.
Got it.
I think teachers are fed up. Children are fed up. And their parents are fed up.
Yes.
And so I think education is going to be forced to transform itself into something else that's going to meet the needs of the students. It's not going to look like anything we've seen before. Like shorten school day, transitioning into like on all online period. And the reason why they're going to be forced to do that is because, like I said, I see parents holding on to their kids tightly, like, no. And I think as a result of the parents dictating, it's not going to be about the government dictating anymore. What's going to dictate is these parents saying no. And that's going to force them to transform. There's something here about overseas. Like there's something here about let's do it like they do it over there. And I don't know what that means. But like I feel like there's going to be there's going to be a nation overseas that gets it right. And they're going to model it for us. What the new process is going to look like. Norway? Sorry, I just heard. I was like, what country? Norway.
Norway.
That's so funny, Desi, because I heard that too. While you were reading, I kept hearing Norway and Sweden.
Yeah, I was like, what country? And I heard Norway. And I was like, Norway? Yeah. We're going to model they're going to become the model for us for how we're going to conduct our schools. And I think that's it. That's what I have for education.
Do you know what's funny is that my son's school is actually modeled after schools in Norway and Sweden already.
Really?
Because they're about that you create a child who's confident within themselves and a leader. And that when they are a good person first, they become a student second. It's a charter program that's being tested where we live. And so now they're basing the online school off of theirs as well. But obviously we're limited since we have to depend on funds from the state of California. And they just called and left a message this morning saying, oh, next week we're going to give everybody their crayons and books and whiteboards and things like that so that the parents can and be more hands-on instructional with the kids at home.
Yeah.
They only gave
Yeah.
them one book and a laptop so far.
Wow. I mean, I feel like it's good that they at least have a plan in place, and they are looking at those schools overseas to try and figure out that we're broken and that this isn't working. Yeah, I know that Finland is #1 in education. They used to be with us, like somewhere like 29th or something like that. But like Finland started turning things around, but I'm strongly getting that Norway is going to be the model for us.
Yeah.
For online learning, and not only that, but once we return to school, like once we return to school, I don't see it going back to even the old system. Old hours, 7.5 hours in school, like the old Common Core standards. Like I'm not seeing any of that here. It's it's totally transformed.
Jesse, let me read some of the comments. TY said, Finland, also mentioned Finland. Crazy Sexy Cool says Mexico's doing all online. They made a deal with the cable companies to run educational programs 24/7 for every grade. That's really critical.
I know.
To get up with cable companies, that's a really good idea.
Put school on TV.
Yeah. Put school on TV. That's innovative.
That's really good because right now
Satari says have model school systems.
Yeah. Right where I live, they have the Comcast vans parked. They're going to be parked everywhere to broadcast Wi-Fi for the kids to be able to get online.
You live in a really good district, girl.
Girl, I do not live in the best town ever, but for some reason we have the best schools. Like they do not play about education here. They have the high school, they have a baccalaureate program that when you graduate from high school, you already have an associate's degree.
Okay, so like a dual enrollment kind of thing.
I like
Gotcha. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my son's really lucky that he's in a charter program that's for advanced learning, that he'll be able to take advantage of that kind of stuff as long as he continues to get good grades.
Sorry, I was trying to no.
But Desi, I also like hearing. Ty is making a good point. Less bullying, so now we don't have to worry about bullies. That's critical.
Yeah,
it's how to
that's
go
really
to school.
important.
Yes. I was bullied as a kid, and I hid in the bathroom.
That's sad. I mean, like that's.
I know. Plus, I'm such a little type. Like, why would you bully someone that's tiny?
Yeah.
I'm only 5 feet now, so imagine I wasn't at my growth spurt. Like I didn't turn 5 feet in 5th grade. Like,
yeah, of course.
I was 4'10" at best.
But you know how these kids are. Anybody that's perceived as different than, right?
Yeah.
Is a target. And it's disgusting that I know a lot of schools have zero tolerance, quote unquote, zero tolerance for bullying, but I can tell you that it still goes on.
Actually,
and
it's not true. There have been cases in California where they claim to have zero tolerance. They have told the administration they have done nothing. And children have been bullied to being killed.
Yeah, or killing themselves.
Yeah.
And then it's like, come to find out there is a paper trail of documentation, but it's like how much, like what were y'all doing in the midst of the teacher or a counselor filling out this paperwork? Like what kind of measures were taken?
Yeah.
I see it all the time.
And a lot of times kids don't even report it, so the school doesn't even know what's going on to interfere anyways, because they don't want to be the snitch that gets bullied even more for telling on the other kid.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. And again, let's just go back to online to kind of cuts all of that down, because the school systems have not been so great at teaching. Not that I'm putting teachers down, so I don't need
No.
teachers unions coming after me. But they haven't been so great at it because teaching's broad. Teaching's mental. Teaching's compassionate.
Mm-hmm.
And depending upon the coursework, the school system, the neighborhood, it varies.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes
it really varies when you don't have
out there, and it's helter skelter out there.
Yeah.
Depending upon all those factors, whether or not you actually get teachers that care about you. Some teachers just care about the salary. I'm not trying to put teachers down, but you can't glorify teachers to me when I know that there are other inferences that can affect a child's upbringing.
Oh, absolutely. But I also think this is the problem. This is what happens when you expect a school to solve so many problems that are not theirs to solve.
Yes.
What I mean by that is people are advocating for the opening of schools because they're saying if schools aren't open, then how are kids going to eat? And I'm like, that's a governmental failure of the community. Like that's a failure of the community. How is it that per capita, our per capita income is the highest in the world, but you have kids that go to school to eat? That's a failure of the government.
Right.
Yeah.
But
that's not a
even
school
that's
failure.
fixable. They found a way. Los Angeles, New York found a way to keep these kids home and keep lunches running.
Right.
So
but the fact that you have to do that.
Lunch, that's dumb.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's
but
for
the fact
all the
that
wrong reasons. And then, to be honest with you, then you have parents, and I'm not putting any parent down. You all have your own reasons why you want your kids to go back to school. Don't you dare blame single parenting. Don't do it. Do not tell me you're a single parent, and that's why you're sending your son to school in a potential COVID environment.
Right. Well, some are saying, well, if school functions as a babysitter too, because how am I going to get to watch my kids if I and school is essentially free? But again, that goes back to a society issue. Why isn't daycare or why isn't that something that is, in other nations, a lot of times daycare is free or damn near free. Why are we not doing that for parents who really need this, who really need help? And somebody else said, Crazy Sexy Cool says, they could run the school meals like Meals on Wheels. Well, remember, Trump tried to cut the funding for Meals on Wheels. So, and he's threatening to cut funding for schools if they don't open up.
Yeah.
So schools who are already struggling.
Have two options like that you can either go to the school, and even if, say, for example, like you're in a charter school, so it's not really like in your neighborhood, you can go to the nearest school and pick up a bagged lunch for your kid. You can get a breakfast and a lunch, and they're talking about trying to include dinners too. And if you can't get to that, they are collecting names from parents who are on the free lunch program who wouldn't have the availability to get to the nearest school. They are talking about trying to figure out how to deliver to them. But
what
again,
I'm most
in
worried about,
and it's because of our governor that we're getting a lot of this stuff, because he's the one ordering it, and he's fought a lot with President Trump over the handling of everything that's gone on with COVID. So, because they've gotten into it, because Trump told him to open stuff back up, and he's like, heck no, not unless I see all these numbers drop for a certain number of days in a row. And so, we're blessed that we actually have a governor that cares about it.
Yeah, because he don't give a fuck in Florida. I'm just being honest. He sucks. He sucks bad. And I just
Well, Bella, was I talking to you yesterday? Sometimes I get confused with who I'm talking to, where someone said that they actually had a plan for the COVID in place, ready to execute, but because, wasn't you, Bella? But because it hit the blue states first, they did nothing.
Oh no, it wasn't me. I don't know. I didn't.
That
hear
wasn't
that.
me either.
They did nothing because they actually had a plan. They had a working plan. They were going to execute a way to eradicate this, much like Korea did. Not North Korea, South Korea did. They had a plan. But when they saw it was hitting the blue states, for instance, New York and California, and I find that interesting because particularly those two states, are the ones that they were arguing with the most. That they didn't execute the plan.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
until today, the Midwest is being slaughtered with the COVID.
Yep.
Because your president wanted to hurt the blue states. I'm just saying, well, one of my clients I was talking to about this, so I appreciate the information coming across today.
That's really disgusting to me because people, here's the thing, human beings are not collateral damage. They are not. Why is it that you have people who are in the midst of this, you know, whatever this war is, this political war is, or, you know, whatever this dick swinging contest is, you have people who are sick and dying.
That's right.
We're not collateral damage. Like, why are we getting caught in the crossfires of your political war with the left? That's crazy to me. Like,
that's what happened, though. It's my understanding is that is what happened. So at this stage of the game, I'm excited to hear.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I think I'm just a lot going on in my head. I think I'm kind of happy the COVID is here. At this stage of the game, there is something wrong with the nursing home care system. COVID discovered that. And whether you realize it or not, there's something wrong with the educational system, right up to the universities.
Yep.
There's no reason that a college education, a BA, should cost any of you guys anywhere between $50,000 and $120,000 or more, depending upon what excellent schools you go to.
Right. Only for people to get out thousands of dollars in debt for entry level work, and they're not making the money that they need to make to pay back their loan.
Yes.
So I thought education was the key. Like you told me that, you know, if I went to college, that was going to open doors. But really, I'm enslaved by this debt that I'm never going to be able to pay back. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people in that boat, and it sucks.
And people are in their 40s,
yeah,
50s, still trying to pay a loan from your 20s.
Yeah.
And then you get penalized for it? What is
Yeah. It's fucked up. And like I want to say, I think you're right. The COVID has peeled back the layers of American propaganda.
There you go.
And because, you know, again, we are the richest company per capita, right? But look how we treat our people.
Yeah.
And this exposed how we treat our people on every level. We have fucked everybody but the 1% on every single level. We have failed them on every level. And now we're failing the most vulnerable of us all, which is our children. We are failing them. We've been failing them, but this is like an extra hard fail. So on top of that, I'm not getting a top level education. But on top of that, I'm going to get sick and die in the classroom potentially. So like we have failed American citizens on every single level.
And it's not
every level.
It's not over. This is, I keep telling everyone, this is Uranus and Taurus. And Uranus and Taurus hit, I think it was last year. And then it retrograde. And then I think it hit 2 years ago. And then it retrograde. And then it came back, I believe, last year.
Mm-hmm.
Forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm not an astrologer. But I kept asking God, how are you? Because Uranus means I get to change everything about everything, every industry. That's what Uranus and Taurus means.
Yeah.
Taurus like stability. Taurus doesn't like change.
Right.
Institutions are unchangeable conglomerates, dynamics. Institutions are of any kind. The post office. We're going to talk about your post office. It means I don't get to change. because it's supposedly a working format.
Yeah.
I asked God, I was like, how are you going to change everything in 6 years? And what in the heck does that mean?
Little did you know.
I would have never guessed a whole
Yeah.
disease would have done this. But
Yeah.
a whole disease, because Uranus and Taurus has to mean everything changes, not America. It means everything. The whole world has to change.
Yeah.
How? Oh, I know. A world disease is the thing that's going to do it.
Right. And I don't think that America, and I'm only saying this because I'm coming back. I don't want anybody to think I'm being like F America because I'm never coming back. No. I'm coming back. Okay. I will be back. But I want to say this. I think to other nations, it started before that, but it really started in 2016. But I really think that this COVID has shown the world, and this is what I mean by peeling back the layers of propaganda. America's not a superpower. America's not the superpower that they think it is, simply because we go in and use our military to force, economic imperialism on people. Like, we're not the superpower that we claim to be, especially if we can't even take care of our people. So now other nations are looking at us like, wait a minute. First of all, they elected this idiot. That's the first. And then it's like, you guys are letting your people die.
Yeah.
You guys are sending your children to go sit in a classroom and potentially die. Your numbers are steadily rising and there's nothing happening. Your president doesn't even wear a mask. America looks real raggedy.
Yeah.
We look hella raggedy.
Also, let's not forget, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm so sorry, Bella.
No.
Let's not forget that the COVID has ravaged, to this day, military bases. And look at Okinawa. And that's a corrupt system. I'm not going to get into it, but that in itself is a corrupt system. And no one forget Fort Hood. They found an 8th body there.
Yeah. Look, yeah.
So COVID it's actually going into areas where they go, hey guys, there's a problem in this industry.
Yeah. One of the things I kind of wanted to talk about too, just with that education, going back to this, there are children who, as a result of schools being closed and as a result of, this educational upheaval, there are a lot of children who are falling through the cracks as a result.
Yeah.
Children with learning disabilities, students with IEPs, even gifted children with EPs, they're not getting the assistance that they need. They're not getting the support services that they need. There are children one of my friends in North Carolina was saying there are students they can't even locate now because school was their means of keeping tabs on them. And now that school is out, they can't even locate them because, there are situations going on at home, or they're forced to move from place to place. Yeah. They can't locate these kids. They've just fallen through the cracks. And that's a situation that nobody wants to talk about, but it's true. Again, we're talking about the most vulnerable of us.
You're not going to rush me.
And we're failing them.
You're not going to start complaining.
Yeah. Well, and what I was just going to say earlier was that one of my friends is a teacher in New York, and she said, the teachers, none of them agree and want to go back, and she's like, they don't have AC, so they got to wear masks all day, and the kids got to wear the masks. She's like, I don't know how we're supposed to keep them 6 feet apart in an overly crowded classroom anyways. But then on top of it, the teachers that do have, the higher risk because they have a health issue or whatever, she said all of them went and got doctor's notes, and the union told them don't even bother turning it in because they're all getting turned down and you have to go to work. It doesn't matter, or you're going to lose your job.
Yeah.
They're all trying to find jobs to be online tutors so they can quit because they don't want to go back. They have a month left and they're all scrambling to get another job. So you're going to see a bunch of kids that even do go back to school might not even have a teacher to teach them, or the classrooms will be more overcrowded because there's a lot of them that are going to be like, my grandma lives with me. I'm not risking coming home and getting her sick, or I got a little kid, or I have arthritis or asthma or whatever. And so that's going to be an issue too.
And And to the people who are like, well, what's the difference between you and the difference between a teacher and a grocery store worker? They still had to go to work during the COVID. And I'm like, fuck y'all. That's it. Sorry,
Yeah,
but fuck
but
y'all.
and the thing about a grocery store worker is that, number one, you know, you have a little more leeway to go run to the bathroom and wash your hands more often. You can't leave a class of 25 4 and 5-year-olds by themselves so that you can keep running to the bathroom, and much less those kids don't understand. Leave your mask on. Don't pick your nose and wipe it on other people. Don't spit
touch
on
each
people.
other. Don't go like this and then touch the kid next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they don't. You have much less chance of a grown adult licking their fingers and touching your face when you're a grocery store worker than you do a little kid doing something like that in a classroom as a teacher. And you're I mean, everybody that's an essential worker is constantly at risk all day long, but
yeah,
it is, and you're in a small enclosed space as well too, because stores can limit how many people can come in. You see that they say wait before they pull up the next person, and they sanitize everything in between customers. Teachers don't get to do that. They can't tell the kids, don't come back in the classroom because I have to sanitize it again. You know,
right.
So that's the difference. There's 30 people in one little room. Of course, you're risking it much more.
That's so true.
But
That's
also,
so true.
Just the idea, let's just talk about the kindergarten kids who aren't going to wash their hands correctly.
And pre-K, first grade, second grade. Hell, they don't wash their hands in the 9th grade. I know that. 9th and 10th grade. Digging all in their noses.
In 3rd grade last year, and he'd come home and be like, Mom, none of the kids in the bathroom ever wash their hands except for me, and some kid got mad because I told him to wash his hands.
See?
They're talking about 9, 10, and 11-year-olds because he's still in elementary. But he's in the older age of elementary. Yes. He was freaking out because it was flu season. My kid's OCD like me. He always has hand sanitizer.
No, but even in high schools, we're already getting the pictures from like Paulding County. We're getting pictures of the crowded hallways, and we're getting pictures of the kids not following the social distancing measures, and they're not following the safety protocols. Only a handful. Yep. But again, that's the attitude that their parents have taken, and so it's rubbed off on them, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, and those kids that shared those pictures of how crowded the hallways were, that was in Georgia, they got suspended.
Suspended, yeah.
For posting that.
Yeah.
I heard
about that. Ridiculous.
Yeah. The school tried to say it's because they violated the no cell phones policy and a privacy policy and posting other kids' faces. Every kid had a mask on. Like, you couldn't pick out and be like, oh, there's Gavin and there's Sylvia. You wouldn't have known. It was just they had to have some excuse to punish them for sharing that and telling on what's going on.
Right, for airing the dirty laundry. But I would go home. I mean, like, if I was a kid, I'm telling it all. I'm telling my mom, like, listen, I went to school the first day. Nobody had a mask on. I'm uncomfortable. Do I have to go back?
Yeah.
And her response would have been, I mean, my mom would have been low. No, you don't.
Well, I do want to make sure that parents understand, those of you that don't want to send your kids to school, you don't have to during the COVID. No one can make you. I promise you, there's not a CPS worker, there's not a principal, there's not a teacher that can make you send your kids to school. Choose to homeschool them. Power yourselves up and just refuse to do it.
Right.
Now, those of you that don't like your kids, well, I try.
Also, I just want to say this too. If you are a working mother or father and you have to send your children to school because there is no other way, there's no judgment around that. There's no judgment for you at all. You got to do what you got to do, man. Like, I get it. Yeah. I get it. You have to do what you have to do. And so I'm not judging you. And as somebody that does not have any children, you know, I can't judge how somebody else would raise their children, what they would do with their kids. You pushed them out. Good. Do what you do.
Yeah.
But
no judgment here. And even as a teacher, we're not judging you.
No, And I agree, but I do want to offer up. We've only got this one life with these kids, and I'm serious. So I can't imagine being a single parent and having to work. But
Yeah.
what I can imagine is that you had a format for it when the school shut down in March.
Yeah.
So whatever that format is, if it worked, I would say you were forced to make a way and find a way. I would say do it again. Do not depend upon these schools to be your children's babysitter. Children have been dying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ty William keeps saying something about their sister or sister-in-law switched over to a job at home and said it could be a way, but parents need to create jobs in home. I mean, there's a lot, trust me, a lot of parents are really, really trying to make that happen. But you also have to understand, too, that if, for example, your job was in retail and now and that's where all your experience is, and now you're competing against all the other parents who are trying to find a work at home job, it's not going to be possible for every single parent to just be able to, create a job at home or find a job at home. So, it's the bigger picture here is why do we live in a country that considers itself first world, but yet we have to choose between our health and safety and being able to make enough money to keep a roof over your head and food on the table and the lights on. That's the real issue.
And even then, we're still not paying people livable wages. Where even if they wanted to, like, how in the hell can you sit up and say to me, Mitch McConnell, that $600 is too much? $600 a week is too much. Are you kidding me? What does that equate to? $15?
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is that you're not willing to pay people livable wages. And even some of these assholes out here who are like, not working a $15 an hour job are looking at somebody working at McDonald's. Do you guys remember that when the controversy was they wanted to start paying fast food workers $15 and people were like, oh, they don't even deserve that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what you're saying is I don't deserve a livable wage. I don't deserve a way to feed my family. Like, in order to do that, I have to work multiple jobs and miss more time with my kids. Pay people livable wages. We're first world. You're right, Bella.
Well, and I could say this too. Like, I've been a single parent since my son was 10 months old, and I made $15 an hour back then. This was 9 years ago. Okay, my rent was $850 a month. By the time that I paid for the rent and his daycare and my car insurance and my cell phone bill, I was literally always having to borrow money from my mom. I didn't live extravagantly. I was getting food stamps because I did not make a living wage, and this was 9 years ago. That same apartment that I lived in then is now going for $1,800 a month.
Yes.
Same.
Yes.
And so if people are still not making $15 an hour, or they're just making that, how the hell are you going to make anything? You can't even afford to live in that same apartment that I lived in then.
Yeah.
But I also want to state again, like we're going to talk about the COVID.
Yeah.
The need for the changing industries, like car insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how that doesn't need to be as high as it is. The insurance rates everyone, right?
Oh, yeah.
Car notes.
Yeah.
Every single one of these cars, for the most part, are all made the same.
Yeah.
For the most part. I'm saying from a practical place.
Yeah, of course.
We know Toyota's excellent. Nissan's excellent. But they're still all made the same. And why do these cars cost so much? So, and I think, Bella, part of the problem that we're having in terms of being, working, Desi, $15 an hour, is needing a car note. Having insurance to the car. And you brought it up, Bella. Real estate is ridiculous.
Yep.
COVID has
the rent is too damn high.
But it's going to crash real estate. Rest and be assured.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You guys, seriously, now is not the time to buy a house. If you want to buy a house, like it will be a great buyer's market about a year from now.
Yes.
Because
Tracy, I see your face.
We have not seen
I tell everyone,
the
don't
true
buy a
effect of
house.
all of this.
Yes. Guys, I'm going to let Jason in. I'm almost forgetting that he's there.
Is it? Jason!
Hello. Hello, Desi. Hi, Psychic Bella Love. And Tracy Brown, the birthday girl herself.
Well, Jason, you had a birthday 2 days ago.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you.
Happy birthday,
Thank
Ethan.
Jason,
Thank you.
Jason. Look
Yes.
at the camera right here.
Hi, Tony.
Jason,
How are you?
happy birthday.
Is Ezra there too?
Yes. Look at Ezra.
Hi, Ezra. How are you?
I'm doing good.
It's been a while.
Okay, yeah, you know Jason. I'm pretty sure you've met Jason.
You have met me before, Tony.
Jason.
Yes.
You Jason?
I am Jason.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sit back. Let's talk to Jason. So I just want to let everyone know, Jason, that you and Bella know each other.
That's correct.
How do you guys know each other?
How do we know each other, Bella?
I had a client that was dealing with a lot of anxiety, and I referred him to listen to some of Jason's Dawn meditations. And then he told Jason that I sent him his way, and Jason messaged me on Instagram, and so we became friends. And then he told me about Tracy, and that's how I came to know Tracy, was through Jason.
Wow. It's like kind of an interesting connection of things. And you just happen to like be pretty close to like my sister and mom. And and so we've I've gone, to visit them, and I've seen you, and I've had a great time. Had some wonderful pictures where we're just like there in a parking lot somewhere, just smiling and laughing up a storm. It's really great.
Yes, the sun was shining perfectly on us. We said we were recharging ourselves like crystals. I'll have to post them on Instagram again because I think I forgot to post them on my actual feed when we took them, but I'll post them later so you guys can see it.
Yes. How is your birthday going, Tracy?
I've had some different personalities, and it makes me pulled in two different directions.
Is that within yourself? You've had all the personalities going on?
Yes. Yes,
Tony?
I'm covering up my insanity. Yes. Tony, stop.
See, she knows me.
You look beautiful, Tony. You look beautiful. So Jason had a Zoom party the other day, and he was like, "What are you gonna do?" And I was like, "I'm not doing this." And then at the last minute, I thought the only way I'm even going to be able to talk to my son is if he comes on. So then I was like, "Everybody, come on!"
Yay!
Yeah, it's just the way of 2020. Where if we want to see each other.
I've talked about Desi for years, but I don't think you've ever got the face put to Desi. Desi knows you.
Yeah, I have heard about Desi for years.
Years.
Yeah, and
I heard about you for years too, Jason. I used to watch you when you did videos with Tracy. I'd be like, "Oh my god, his beard is so cool."
It was a lot darker back then.
It's been cooler in person.
I think it's gotten whiter since those days.
It's cooler in person, but nothing's cooler when he wears a shirt that gives you the different placements of what your beard means.
It's the beard growth chart.
Beard growth chart, right?
Yeah. It starts up here. It's like professor and sea captain, and it works its way through lumberjack and then Amish, and then at the very bottom, it's wizard.
Wow.
And I cross it by, like, even if my beard is tied in a knot, it still crosses the finish line there. So it's science.
That's amazing.
Desi, it's science, right?
It's science.
It's like a unit of measurement. So how can it be wrong?
Exactly.
But he's reached wizard status, and I think when he finally reached the wizard status on his beard is when he gave himself the title of wizard. It was like, okay, the beard has reached the level of my T-shirt where it says, "This is who I am. I am a wizard."
No, I had never seen a live wizard before, and I was like, oh my god, like he and I think in the titles of your videos you would put Jason the Wizard. I was like, oh my god, it's the first wizard I've ever seen. Like, oh,
And
That's right.
he uses the wizard deck, which is not an easy deck. You've given
No,
me
it's not.
readings on that deck, and sometimes he goes, and this is you see it, Tracy, and I'm like, I don't see nothing. You tell me. But what's it called?
It's called the Wizard's Tarot.
The Wizard's
Ooh,
Tarot. Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
that.
you can tell from this the box. You know, it's out of
Well
print.
loved.
Isn't
It's
it outdated?
well loved. It is out of print.
Out of print,
It-
yeah.
And I have about 5 decks of it. But if you go to eBay or Amazon to look it up, there are some that cost $2,000.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
it must be a powerful deck.
It's a
I'm
wonderful
so
deck.
mad I had
I
that
don't-
deck.
I don't know that I would like buy one for $2,000. I don't have to because I have
Wait.
like a
Bella,
number
did you
of them.
get the deck?
I had it and I never used it and I gave it away because I had so many decks that I never used. Either because they just didn't speak to me, or they were extremely similar to one another,
You gave it
or
away?
and I
Okay.
never used it and I gave it away and now I'm so mad. I'm like, darn it, I could have had it. For
You kicking yourself now?
Okay.
You could have made
Here's what I wanna show
$2,000.
you. Here's what I want to show you. If Amazon doesn't show you the price on anything, if Amazon doesn't show you the price, which this doesn't, right?
It's out of print or out of stock.
Right?
Mhm.
Oh, I was going to show you the price. Hold on.
To just go to a default price, $2,000.
Yeah,
Child.
$2,000.
Bella, look
Wait
how
a sec. Is that more now? Is it like 25?
No, it's 23.35.
35.
Damn, it's like
I know.
interest.
I'm really mad at myself right now.
Yeah, I know.
And they have the nerve to charge for shipping. Shipping should be free.
I'm
think.
saying.
Like, take the hit. Shipping should be free. But I think that's hilarious.
Now you can get some foreign language versions of it.
But
If you want to get
but-
Spanish or Chinese, you can get like you can get it for like $30 or $80, something like that. But the English versions, it's like now it's up to 2,300.
and it's used.
Yeah,
Got somebody else's energy on it too.
And it's
Yeah.
used.
They say shit.
Well, I don't mind used cards because I used to work out of a bookstore where people that died, relatives would come and re-give us back the relatives' decks. And getting those type of decks at least helps you to see like what other decks look like without costing a lot of money. And you will get something like the Wizard Tarot when somebody dies. Because the children don't know what to do with it. They're like, I don't know what this crap is. So just take a whole box of her stuff. And you're in the, when they deliver the stuff, and you're like, and you grab it
Listen.
to me.
they're gonna be like Bella, and they're gonna say, "Oh, I'm not gonna use this. This doesn't speak to me. Here, you take it off my hands." Wait, how much was it? What? I could have paid rent.
Get rid of this
Y'all know
crap.
I'm gonna cry myself to sleep tonight.
No.
I have one pristine version of it in the shrink wrap and everything
That you
that I've
won't
never
touch.
used. No, I've bbeen using like some of these decks for just years, and they're getting very marked. They're you can start to tell the backs by the backs, like what's going to be on the front of it.
Yes.
But of course, that's not how I operate. That's not how I roll as far as a reader. I'll stare at the ceiling while I pick cards just so I don't know, what it is that I'm choosing.
Yeah.
They're saying, Jason, I don't know if it works the same way, guys, but they're saying you should laminate a deck, but I don't think it actually works that way.
Yeah, I mean, you can do anything you
can.
want, right? Yeah, I mean, energy is energy. It's
Yeah.
not gonna like.
No, but you gotta shuffle. How does that work when you laminate a whole deck?
Well, it just becomes a lot thicker.
Yeah.
It's just like a, it's like a
Yeah.
big old thing that it's very difficult to shuffle and all. But if you're in a rainstorm, like I was in Bakersfield, I was doing a Mystic Fair, and it started pouring rain, and we had like a little bit of a covering, but it was coming in through the sides and all that. And my cards were getting wet, stuff, and it was just like, I would have loved to have had them laminated, but.
Well, Jason, you said you had how many of those Wizards decks, tarot?
I think a total of 5 or 6. There,
Okay.
I found one not too long ago that was like kind of tucked away somewhere. It's like, God, where did that come from? But
So $10,000-$12,000 in decks. Everybody go to Jason's house because you're gonna be robbed. That's $10,000 in decks. $12,000.
thank you for that, Desi. Here, let me
Well, you guys-
comment. Where's the comment section? I'll put the my address.
You guys, though, if you do like Ciro Marchetti and he makes the deck that I use, the Tarot of Dreams, make sure that you go to Amazon first. Don't go to eBay and get them because he's retiring. He's not going to print anymore.
Really?
So, yep, if you like any of his stuff, make sure that you purchase now before there's no more available and they go up like crazy. And he said Amazon and his website are the only two places that he authorizes them to be sold on. So he said like people on eBay were already jacking up the prices of his decks. Because I've spoken with him personally because I'm like such a huge fan of him and his art.
And that's Marchetti?
Yeah, they're Marchetti.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
I
deck.
just reminded myself, I was like, I gotta go like stock up on all of them before I can't get any more and screw myself.
Did after Doreen Virtue kind of renounced the tarot, have her decks like gone up in price?
No.
They're still selling. They're still selling all her stuff.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So say they didn't discontinue them and.
No, she sold off her company a long time ago, so whoever she sold it to is still printing and selling her things.
Yeah.
I see.
With her name on it, even though she says unicorns are evil now, guys.
It's so disappointing that she bailed on us, because not only did she bail on us, she tried to ruin the industry.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was selfish when she bailed on us. You could leave. Nobody cares. Like, I found Jesus. Jesus wasn't there before. Like, I found Jesus, blah, 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 and I got you. You guys know I'm a big Jesus fan. I hear you. But she tried to ruin the industry. That was mean. Because I can tell you, a lot of us are being healed through tarot.
Yeah.
Man.
I have one Doreen Virtue deck. I don't use it. It was the angel deck with the gilded edges. I used to use it toward the end of my readings on YouTube, but now I just pull there's so many other good decks. There's so many options. Like I don't even pick up the Doreen Virtue deck. And especially after you were like, nah. So now I'm like, no. I can't do it.
Oh, we're talking about Doreen Virtue, the Comic Girls. She made the angel tarot cards and a bunch of books about how to be a medium and not allow evil
The
to
romance
come in.
angels.
Like she literally like made herself out to be like the teacher and angel reader extraordinaire, and I'm the tarot lady, and everybody's learning from me. And she'd run all these workshops and teach people how to be psychic. And then she turned her back and said, "That's evil. I found Jesus." And she even said unicorns are evil.
Listen, after she made all that money, it would be different, Bella, if she would have said, "I'm donating everything I got. I'm becoming a woman in a shoe and living in out of a box. Or I gave away all my money." I would have had so much more respect for her. She kept all her money.
Yep. She does her little Bible studies on Instagram from her office in her mansion.
They're horrible. They're horrible.
She's the most boring. That's me. She's not gonna make anybody want to go become more Christian because she's so freaking boring and unengaging. All she does is read from the Bible. That's all she does.
Wow.
She doesn't even discuss it. She's just like Mark 3:12, and the Lord said to you, and you just see all of her followers leaving. People tune in because she's live, and
Damn.
everybody leave.
Is that what Mark 3:12 is? And the Lord said to you?
Oh, no. It all begins that way.
I was just making fun of her.
Gotcha.
But I do want to point out, you're right, Bella, that I thought she was the leader. She was the person that I was like Doreen Virtue. She was also probably one of the people that would have inspired me, although I would have been too afraid at that time. But it was because of her that I was like, I would love to teach.
Mm-hmm.
Destiny. The Angel Answers deck is not a Doreen Virtue deck.
I have it. It's from Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. I thought I got rid of these two. If you want it, just DM me on Instagram. Your address, I'll ship it to you. And I'll send you the romance goals too.
There's a reprint of it. There's a reprint of it. There's a new one. The one that doesn't have the gilded edges. There's a new reprint of it, and it doesn't have her name on it.
But listen, before we do anything, I really want to hear, and Jason, please stay. We're doing industries and how the COVID is affecting industries. So I really want to hear Bella's point of view for the post office.
Okay.
So, Jason, please stay. But Bella, could we hear what you came up with? We just finished. Hold on, Bella. We just finished education. Oh, you both have the same deck.
This one's different. This is the new one they just reprinted.
Oh,
and it doesn't.
Okay. I've had mine for about 5 or 6 years, more than that. Somebody gave
the
it
new
to
one
me
is
and
by
I never
Radley
used it.
Valentine. It has a different.
That's the one I have. Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine.
Yeah. This one they took her name off.
It's both of them, right?
Oh, yeah. Mine
No.
still says Doreen on the bottom.
So Jason's trying to move on without her, but I do want to say, who is that? Haven House, Hayden.
Hay House.
Hay House. They may have ruined Hay House. She may have ruined Hay House, and I'm really wondering if it was a power struggle between the two. I'm wondering, did she find Jesus because it worked? Because at the time, not today, because today we all know we're allowed to believe in God, Buddha, Chango. Like we know this today, but back in the day, not too far from like 5 years ago, you didn't have the two that mixed very well. You didn't bring up Jesus' name in a reading. You might have put an archangel something, but you connected to God and Jesus. And I'm wondering if there was a money struggle at Hay House.
They're going pretty strong though, Hay House. Because there used to be a lot of publishers. I used to be in that market of the metaphysical publishers, and there was a ton of them. And I think Hay House has kind of sucked up a lot of them and just offers them in, they don't have to, as a publisher, print like hardcover books. They can certainly because they have the inroads, but just being able to offer that intellectual material from other publishing houses that at one time were pretty strong. I mean, I think Llewellyn is still around. I think the one who did like Ted Andrews and all the decks in that realm. I think they're still fairly strong, but everyone else, it's like I've seen like all the distributors and all the New Leafs and the music designs just really like kind of fold in on themselves.
Yeah.
So Bella, let's hear it. Let's hear.
Yes.
Okay. So the post office. Well, first of all, they're definitely begging for help and they're making it very urgent. Like they're going after the government. Please, 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 please. We need help immediately because they're supposed to be up next month, guys. Because I did get the Chariot and the Five of Pentacles, which is like, we need help immediately. Oh, and just to interrupt myself before we get any further into it, guys, if you are voting by mail, which I'm sure a lot of people are, and a lot of polling places, it's going to be hell to get into them because of all the only being allowed to go in, you know, so many at a time, and they got to disinfect and everything. You have to make sure, if you want your vote to be counted, that October 20th is the very last day that you send it out. Otherwise, it's going to be too late, because they're saying, you know, I was, Tina Lawson, Beyonce's mom, actually posting that, the reminder for everybody. That's what I saw it on. So, but just so you guys know, so if you are planning to vote by mail and you have not registered to vote by mail, make sure you do that now so that you get your ballot in time, and just really fill it out as soon as possible and send it back as soon as possible once it comes, because you want to make sure that your vote does get counted.
Absolutely.
Now, it's funny because I kept getting all these 8 and 10 cards, which is basically, come October, things are really going to be hell there, because think about it. Trump can't use Russians to fuck with the election this time. He has to go about it in a different way. He's trying to delay it. They will not let him, because Congress is the only one that can change the election date, not the president. Even if he signs an executive order, they can actually remove him for that. So he's trying his hardest to mess with everything and slow it down. So come October, especially, you guys, we are going to see even more problems when it comes to the post office. As far as, you know, them being really overloaded, them not having enough help. I also got the 5 of Wands, so I would expect that we would either see, oh, well, now post office is only open 3 days a week because we don't have the funding for the full week, or people being encouraged to go use FedEx and UPS instead. And which, I mean, obviously, like, if you can afford to do that anyways, you need to get something somewhere super quick, look into that option. But it's really going to become something that's really pushed on us. Also, and again, somebody who's being very sneaky and trying to really just destroy things, the Devil and the Magician card, which the Magician card is my Trump card.
Same.
I feel like as we get towards Christmas, all of a sudden, everything is suddenly fixed after the election is over. But do not expect that they're going to give any money or any help to it, because I got the Justice card in reverse, until this is over. Once the election's over, then all of a sudden, watch, they're going to find money to save the post office. The post office won't go away, you guys, but they're definitely going to mess with it as much as possible until, you know, everything is said and done, because this man is going to do everything that he can to win the election this time around. It's his ego. He doesn't even like being president. He hates it. He just wants to win because of his ego.
Yeah.
So, Bella, this is what I've been hearing in my neighborhood, that they have already started slowing the mail. And I have a question. It's not to you, Bella, but I have a question for America. Like, if you work for the post office, how is it that anybody can order you to slow the mail down? How's that
There's somebody in the
possible?
chat that's a postal worker. Maybe they can answer it for you.
What my mail person told me, because I was talking to him about this, is he said that the person who like sorts it and everything was told, oh, the workers are completely, you know, the people that are delivering, they're slammed. So don't put out this next batch to sort and have it delivered for 3 days so that they can catch up on all the deliveries. So he said right now, like in my neighborhood, that everything that like it's at the post office, but expect that once it's at the post office, it's going to a minimum of 3 days actually get to your house, whereas before it would be the same day or the very next day. And he said that they're actually talking about now that it's going to get extended to 5 days.
So I think what I'm trying to ask though is, so that is being done on purpose then.
Everything is being done on purpose.
So then my next question is, I don't know the highest man in post office. I don't know his name, but it's my understanding
Postmaster.
he's a Republican and blah blah blah. So I'm curious. It just gives me so much concern that someone can say to me as an employee, do something corrupt. How do you say, like, so, and people are listening to say their jobs? Like, is there nobody you could go to stop this? We have an election.
Okay. Oh, so this girl says we are only supposed to work 8 hours. Whatever that's not processed during our 8 hours will be left on the trailers when shipped. My location still has overtime for some positions. Yeah, see, and that's what my mail guy said, that they got inundated with all these packages because of COVID. But at the same time, we told everybody we don't have money for overtime and you have to cut down how many hours you're working. So that's why it's getting pushed. And so he said it's going up the ladder. Everybody's saying, oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. We don't have money. We don't have time. You got to wait till tomorrow.
Well, here's my other question, Bella, and I'm just wondering kind of how does Amazon cut into this? Like, how does Amazon cut into USPS?
That's I'm wondering, because they said that the post office was going to be redundant, and then here came Amazon, and everybody was saying it was going to save the post office.
Right.
I mean,
Jamari, please share your experience. But we have another postal worker in here too.
Don't they have agreement with the post office to deliver some portion of Amazon mail?
It's supposed to be, but what I've noticed is that around where I live, because I try not to do any business with Amazon if I can help it, because I don't want to line Jeff Bezos' pockets anymore. Is that I see the Amazon delivery trucks over here multiple times a day, and very few things are being delivered through the post office any longer from Amazon.
Yeah,
so,
they're independent, seems like.
Yeah. Oh, Shia says, and there are still workers that are out due to catching COVID, so that makes us short staffed.
And commentgirls.com said she'll get some answers. Because I think what concerns me moving forward is the election, of course. So is this slowdown going to hurt the election? Meaning,
well, that's what Trump's trying to do. He won't give them any more money because the post office is a federal program. So they should be giving them money if they're going bankrupt or they're suffering. And he is saying that he doesn't have any money to give them. And so, which I also, I mean, I know it doesn't sound like it's connected, but it kind of is. The counties are getting a whole bunch of money for like COVID response, whether it's that they have, you know, the people who work in a what do you call center that are going to tell you where to go get tested, or you know, them to be able to give people supplies so that they can work from home, whatever. Well, they got a surplus of money from that.
Yeah.
And they're talking about that if the police get defunded, they'll shuffle the COVID money to cover the police. But you can't come up with money for people to actually get treatment or for the post office to stay open. That shows you where Trump's priorities are. Because he wants all the protests shut down so that everything looks like it's nice and tidy in time for his election, and to stall the mail-in votes that are going to vote against him.
And it falls hand in hand with what's happening with education as well. Since, I mean, essentially,
the kids,
he threatened
why don't we have the Meals on Wheels? You got money to give to the cops, give it to the kids that need to eat.
Right. And he threatened to withhold federal funding from schools. And so in the way that he's withholding federal funding from the post office. And so everybody suffers. And so essentially everybody's hand is forced. Like we're forced to do this bidding because we're so dependent on the federal government is tied to everything. And if they withhold funds, everybody suffers.
Yep. And this is the thing too, guys. Look at all the Karens that we see out there. All the videos of Karens. They don't give 2 F's to stay in the house. So they're going to be the ones that are going to make sure their little butts are in line to vote for, Mr. Trump, to have his second term. And so the rest of us who have half a brain are going to be like, no, I'm mailing that in because I'm not going to go risk getting sick, stand in line, and I can't take all day long to stand in line either. And so that's why he doesn't care, because he knows his people still show up because they don't give a crap. They think they're immune to it just because they're a Republican or a Trump supporter.
Yeah. Think about how elderly people.
It is what it is. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Think about elderly people and how they vote in record numbers and what that's going to look like. And I'm thinking about Florida in particular. It's probably, I thought it was going to be purple because of the felons being allowed to vote now, nonviolent felons being able to vote. But I think the plan is it's still going to go red because they vote in record numbers. And if he holds up the mail-in votes, they show up to the polls to vote.
Listen, it might be some misinformation from what Trump's power believes he has, because Doreen just wrote the federal government only provides 10 to 15% subsidies to state school systems. The majority of the funding comes from the state level.
That's what true. I was talking about when I said the county, that is the state level. I used to work for the county, and I know a lot of people who still do, who were the ones that were telling me how each county got money that was divided up to them because Governor Newsom asked for all this federal help because we were going into debt because he kept everything shut down. So when he was given it, then he divided it amongst the counties, and they're supposed to use it for dealing with COVID. But a lot of the counties are holding on to that in fear that the police are going to be defunded, and then they're going to shuffle it over to them instead of giving it to the school. So even though it comes from the state, it was still given to them by the federal government.
Right, and also how much? I'm thinking how much. And the reason why I'm asking about this is because there are a lot of Title I schools that are out there who depend on those funds because they have a certain amount of students who are below the poverty threshold, or they meet the free and reduced lunch, criteria. And I know that I worked at Title I school. We had to make sure our attendance numbers were 100% accurate. Yes. We had to make sure that we followed certain guidelines, or we weren't going to get that funding. Yeah. So what happens then? That's kind of where I'm coming from. Like, he can withhold funding to a certain extent.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. People are not paying their home taxes, for example, or their car registration because they're out of work, or they're just barely making it on unemployment right now, or whatever, then the state isn't getting that money, because that's mostly how the state makes their money, is through our, home taxes, through our car registrations, through sales tax. And if those things, and if people aren't buying the way that they were, because there's a lot of people that went and made their own gardens instead of depending on the grocery store, we're losing all that money, and so the state doesn't have it. So they are depending on the federal government to give them these bailouts.
I'm seeing where it's going to, we're going to be on a shoestring as far as the budget. I don't see the Postal Service getting the money. I see them asking for it. I don't see them getting it, not until there's a new administration, where there's it's just seen as a priority, because I see the elections and all going more towards mail, the vote in or the mail-in votes and all, like in the future, where there's just going to be less and less of the standing in line, because like, why?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I know Obama was talking about that. I was watching. I think Joe Biden was the one that posted the clip of him talking about it. But he was saying, if we can do the census online like we have this year, then we can definitely issue people a certain, barcode that they scan from their phone or some sort of password or something, and we can all vote electronically. So that way, because he was talking about how many people, especially single parents, they can't take off work, all day off work, go stand in lines to vote, but they want to vote. And it does make it really hard for a lot of people that then they just don't have the opportunity to do so. I mean, in the past, I've literally loaded up my car with people and took them with me. I'm like, especially when Obama was in office, like the first time he ran, and I was in the hood then, I was like, everybody get my, like, I literally people laying on top of their house, like, in the back of my car, because my car was tinted. We went down and we made sure we all put in our votes because we wanted Obama to win.
30 minutes until mom comes.
But we don't all have somebody that can do that, so we have to definitely come up with something. And it's not impossible for them to have electronic voting online.
Right.
Yeah, the voting online is going to be the actual new wave. Eventually, I think so. Bella.
Yeah, it should be now, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not for now, not this election cycle, but
No.
the mail works. It's like there's many states that do it anyway, and it's like make it like more valid. But I see that resistance. Like when I pulled, it's not until like after the election. It's not until after there's someone who cares about it that they're actually going to boost up the post office.
And what's so hypocritical about it is he votes by mail, and now all of a sudden there's a problem. It wasn't a problem.
This kid ain't going back to
hypocrisy with him. Yeah.
They both say happy birthday.
Oh.
His kid's not going back to school in September, so.
Let me read
we go.
The rental companies. Let me see what I get real quick. And just so everyone knows, we're just going to run through industries periodically. So if something important comes up and we psychically tap on it before Saturday, then we could be like, hey, I'm reading this week, and I'm sure it's going to be something that you all want to know about. I'm going to read the rental industry. I think they too are looking for some weird bailout from the government. All right. My question was, will they, can they, will the COVID take them down? The answer is absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Dang.
The industry rental company only looks at the money, guys. And I don't know what I mean by that, but I guess what I mean is that they never cared about you. You were a dollar sign to them. All right. I get a lot of men in the industry, a lot of men a lot of men. I'll show you. King of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, King of Cups, King of Swords.
Oh, you got all 4 kings. Ha!
King of Pentacles.
Another.
I mean, is it me
round.
or is it a male dominant? And we never realized it before, but is it a male dominant industry?
It is.
I never picked 2 and 2 up like that until just now. All right.
I guess I was thinking about, I remember I was watching the OJ documentary, and they were talking about the rental industries, and they were talking, and the CEO of Hertz was talking about how it was a boys' club, so to speak. So,
what?
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think, if each of these men represents some part of the industry, I don't know if it's Avis, I don't know if it's Enterprise, I don't know if it's Hearst, Budget. I might be missing one out there. I thought I could mention all of them, but maybe this is Joe Blow Rental Agency. I thought I mentioned all of them, but I must be missing one. These are some greedy pigs. I mean, And they're all right now. They recognize it now. They didn't recognize it before the COVID, but they recognize now that they failed themselves.
Yep.
By not catching this sooner. Meaning, instead of expanding, like Enterprise has expanded all these real estate properties all over the place, that they should have just curtailed it. That they should have made their companies desired and wanted, even if it means they didn't have enough cars. They also should have had, the way I'm getting it, they should have had, Enterprise, and then they should have had like you know how T-Mobile had Metro, and something, and
like a subsidiary.
Had, lower. They should have owned lower companies that rented at lower rates, and none of these men, none of them cared. It was all about the money for them. And it was a really good industry. But the other thing that I'm getting in terms of the industry is that Uber and Lyft actually started this decline for them.
Yeah, I can see that.
And still, they didn't do right.
No.
So I'm getting that they self-sabotage. I feel like Uber and Lyft, I didn't understand this card at first, but it just feels like somebody walked into their home, because it's my hopes and fears. And this was an industry that was just like, made it, banking it. Not ever realizing that something like Uber or Lyft could step into their space.
Right.
Gotcha. Like some people would rent a car for the weekend. And now, why would I rent a car for a weekend when I can just Uber? And cheaper, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's less hassle.
Less hassle. And then what also, again, these men didn't think. They were such big conglomerates that they never had to think better. And they didn't even think to take some of their cars and make it cheaper for the weekend. Like you can go to certain places now and rent one of those little smashed up little cars, but they're brand new, but they don't have backs in them, and you can put around town for like $20. They just didn't think to broaden their horizon. It reminds me of the milk industry, right? Milk never thought they would go out of business, ever.
Because it's milk.
Because it's milk. And they had told us milk is calcium and building and blah, 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 blah. They didn't even care that people could be allergic to cow milk.
I do.
Or lactose intolerant.
And then almond milk showed up. Little bitty almond milk. Oh, what a joke. Almond milk. And that's all any of us drink now. I know I don't drink cow's milk. And they didn't think, and now you see these milking, farming industries failing because it just never dawned on them to invest in almond milk. So this has to be a lesson for everyone. Like, you gotta broaden that horizon. I don't care if it's a working format for 30 years. I don't care if it's a working format for 100 years. When this little putt shows up and it's like, hey, I'm almond milk, and milk laughed at them. And almond is a giant industry now.
Yeah.
I make my golden tea with almond milk, not cow's milk. I know, you told me that. You gave me a recipe, Desi. And by the way, golden tea is amazing. Golden milk is amazing. It puts you to sleep.
What's the magical ingredient? What makes it gold?
Just stop.
Turmeric.
Oh, you put everything in it. Turmeric, cinnamon,
honey. Yes. Yeah.
But it gets a shimmer on it when you add like a healthy fat, like when you add like a little bit of coconut oil, or some people add like a little bit of butter, and then you get the shimmer on it, and it really does look.
I add ghee butter.
Yeah.
or coconut oil. Coconut oil is so healthy for you anyway because it'll help lubricate your body. But it just makes you so relaxed and so calm in this anxiety-filled COVID industry where people are worried about putting their kids back to school. Lunch ladies are wondering, like, are they going to have a job? Bus drivers are worried they're having a job. And rental car workers, they are just out of work.
Yeah.
This industry can't come back the way it used to. That's a zero no. So COVID ruined that.
Yeah.
And we just have to wait to see how COVID augments the school system. And we're going to have to wait and see how COVID handles the election.
Yeah, the post office. Yeah.
But this is an amazing time for all of us. And by the way, very few people can actually do what we're doing. I think, and nail it.
That's the key right there, right? And nail it.
And nail it.
Because there's a lot of people, on Instagram and all who are, pulling cards and all. But it's having a larger vision of who you are as a reader too. It's like you were just talking about the rental companies, just thinking about, oh, we're doing this for money, and it's just going to be about that. But when you tap into a place of being the healer inside of you, sharing your gifts to heal others, then you're doing the real work.
Yeah,
you're doing the work of the tarot, of mediumship, of any of the modalities. However your gifts are primed, it's like you're that messenger for that. So
right.
And
I also want to say,
be here in the middle of all of this. I'm glad to have this gift, guys. I don't know. Do you guys feel the same way? To have the gift to help. Like, listen, maybe it's not the best news always.
Yeah.
But
that's what I was gonna say.
Where you say it? I'm so sorry.
No. I was gonna say, like, I don't want anybody to take us doing the industries and seeing them collapsing or on the verge of collapsing. Please don't take it as a doomsday tinfoil hat kind of like doom and gloom situation, because it's not that. I think a lot of these archaic practices and a lot of these archaic ways of doing things, the old guard needs to come down. The tower needs to fall so that we can be rebuilt in the way that we're supposed to be. This isn't who we are. The way that we're operating now, this isn't who we are as humans. This isn't who we are as Americans. Like, this isn't who we are. And so in order to, to be reminded of who we are, well, maybe we are this way, and maybe that's kind of why it needs to end. But, I think, we can't go back to the old ways. The old ways are done. And COVID is the tower to come to wipe us out so that we can rebuild and start over. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. So it's not doom and gloom. It has to collapse. Exactly.
Yeah. And there is a huge purpose for COVID, and it is because, like, and I was talking about this earlier when we were having the sound issues, but then I stopped because people couldn't hear us. Was that I've been saying this, and Cardi actually said it too. If you guys watched the Breakfast Club interview where she was talking about her new song, but it's that so many people wouldn't be able to be out protesting for Black Lives Matter if we weren't in quarantine because they'd have to go to work. So many people wouldn't even be aware of what was going on because they would be at work and they'd be supposed to be running from work to go get their kids from daycare and then go to the grocery store so that they could make dinner tonight and go this and do that. But we all had to sit down and had nothing to do but pay attention to what's going on online on the news and see all of this and then get angry and do something about it. And on top of it, any industry that does fall or is forced to change, it's going to be rebuilt in a better way because that's what the tower card is. You tear something down to rebuild it in a better way that benefits people in a healthier, more productive way.
Exactly.
So that's why, it's like we have to have this happen. And it's not, I kept hearing from Spirit for the last few months, there's more of us than there is of them, meaning we've let the idea of corporations and the money that they have hold us into
Capitalism.
a mindset of we're imprisoned, mentally imprisoned in this belief that, well, I'm never going to have anything and I just got to go along through life in this drudgery and do everything that they tell me to do exactly the way they tell me to do it so I can just barely scrape by. We don't want that. You know, Meghan Markle said it perfectly. It's not enough to survive. You're supposed to thrive. Otherwise, why are we here?
Exactly.
And so that's why, like, we are all standing up and saying, this doesn't work. Change it. And that's why it is so important that we're not only just voting on the presidency, but we're voting on the House of Representatives, the Senate, our city council. Make sure that you're involved with all that stuff, guys. But also make sure that you're taking care of yourselves mentally too, so that way you're not so overly exhausted by things that when it is your turn to make a difference, you have the energy to do it.
Yeah. And I think you're right in that COVID is a mirror. We do you see how we're looking out here? Like we see ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? It's given us the opportunity to see ourselves from all aspects of it.
Yeah.
You know, financially, educational, like how are we looking? It's a mirror. And we have to face ourselves and the ugly truth about ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think COVID is forcing us to face the ugly truth. And now that we see ourselves, we can fix it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity.
Like the whole world had to do shadow work.
Right, exactly. This is the dark night of the soul for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
and somebody said it really is time we boycott many of these corporations. And you guys, that's why I keep saying, buy small business, buy Black owned, because the number one way, if you want to help the Black community, and like Tracy was talking about earlier, not everybody is able to go out and protest because either protests aren't near you or you don't have a babysitter for your kids so that you can go out and protest. Then you help by boosting the Black economy by shopping within them, because I've said this a million times, Black woman-owned business does not get the corporate tax cuts that Jeff Bezos does, but she benefits our community even more because she's paying more taxes than he is. So you are still helping her, helping yourself, and you're helping your whole entire community that's getting those taxes that he has to pay on things. And on top of it, guys, be patient, you know, because they don't also, just like they don't have the corporate tax cuts, they don't have the corporate accounts with FedEx so that they make sure you get overnight shipping. So that's something that we all have to learn. You know, if we don't want to support the evil corporations, we have to have the patience to wait more than next day, 2-day shipping, and wait the week, 2 weeks for our t-shirt, our wipes, whatever it is that we're ordering.
And it's especially important to support Black owned businesses because a lot of them, the majority of them, did not get the loan. They didn't get the paycheck protection stuff. They had to jump through hoops to get it. And even then they got denied because of some, you know, there's always some weird hoop to jump through for them. So please support Black owned businesses.
Yes. But also, guys, the COVID is taken away from the rich.
Yep.
The rich, the way they know their lifestyles is going to change.
It's over.
And the poor, if you just sit back and not be nervous and just really look inside yourself and look inside your home and figure out what you can create from your soul.
Yeah.
The rich cannot sustain because COVID won't let the rich sustain their wealth anymore. But you will get that money from the rich. The poor will be rich. And I always thought, didn't you always think about that passage? The poor will be, I forgot which part of the Bible, the poor will be rich. And it's like, how? It's here.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
This is it.
Over the years, you're like, how is that possible?
Wow.
Poor means poor. And some people can't see themselves out of that for a lifetime.
Yeah.
But the times are changing. Is this revelation? I don't know. But I can tell you at this point in the game with COVID, the rich cannot sustain. And that means it's time for all of us to sit back and not be nervous about
So true.
ever-changing issues. It's going to change.
Change. Yep.
It has to.
Yep.
Actually want it to, even if you're scared. We want the change because it hurts us so bad that someone gets to have a good education and someone can't imagine a good education.
Good education. Yep.
I purposely had to raise my son in a mixed community. Not all black, not all white. I designed it perfectly. And yet he might have still been the only black in his class. But I did it on purpose because I knew my son needed balance. And some other parents in the hood don't get that luxury.
Right.
But that can change, especially if we talk about black owned, that could change because if you start thinking and processing, what can you do? You'll have the money. You won't be so
true.
But we've got to get out of fear and don't let us scare you with what COVID's going to bring. Let's tell you.
It's not about that.
Like with some of my clients, I always get, well, Tracy, give me some good news. And I'm like, that's the best news I can give you.
Yeah.
Don't get pregnant. That's the best news. You might get pregnant. Don't
get pregnant.
Like, that's such devastating news. No, you're not
No.
pregnant yet. Like,
you're not listening.
To process how you don't get pregnant.
Right.
And it's okay that COVID is here. COVID is not attacking you. COVID is attacking big industries.
Right. And we're talking about people who have, and I want you guys to understand, and I said this a long time ago to Tracy, and I don't know why I said it this way. It was weird when I said it, and it's still weird now, but I'm saying it. So, I said Uranus and Taurus, we were talking about that, and I was saying, listen, there's something here where you either pay on the front end or you pay on the back end.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these people have been pieces of shit for a really long time, and they're paying on the back end. Those of you who have paid your dues, those of you who, who have contributed to society, who just tried to live your lives and be a good person, you guys are gonna, like, you paid on the front end, you're gonna reap the benefits on the back end. But these people who have been pieces of shit for a really, really, really long time, including these industries, they're paying on the back end. They've already reaped it on the front end. You're gonna pay on the back end.
Yeah.
So don't worry
how many
about
people got exposed as part of that.
Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. Don't worry about where you fall with that. You're going to be okay. Everybody's going to be okay.
Yes.
Yep. And use the Lionsgate energy today to manifest some great things for yourself, because it is the best day. And because it is about whatever seed you plant right now, 10 is a completion month. So that's why, if you ever talk to a numerologist, they're always going to tell you, if you want to launch a new business, to start planning it and get everything in order in August and launch the business in October, because you're building it on a solid foundation. So just keep that in mind, guys. Like, if you're really looking to manifest something, today is the best day to do it. And of course, I am not surprised. It's Tracy's birthday on the Lionsgate.
How did that happen?
Y'all know
How did that Tracy got her birthday?
Wait, what?
On Lionsgate.
Huh? Oh, Lionsgate. No, listen, I didn't even know about Lionsgate. I just heard about it last week, I think, from one of the women in a book club. It takes me 2 seconds to study something. And I was like, this period, Lionsgate always appears, by the way. It's a thing every year, but I didn't know this. And today, August 8th, which I don't think it's every year, but I don't know. I know this year, August 8th was critical. And so that being said, I'm going to do some candle magic. Once I take my sister back, I'm going to do some candle chango magic to celebrate the Lionsgate
love that
level that it's
that
at
energy.
on August 8th, because it's an amazing event regardless. It's here until the 12th, so please, everyone, do whatever magic you can for yourselves, for your livelihood, for your children. Do what it takes. If you could I've been telling all of my people, thank you, people. Thank you, sweetie. I've been telling all of my people, if you light a candle for yourself, light another one for the protesters.
Yeah.
All right. There are still people getting arrested and killed. There was a whole family full of women and children that was laid down on the ground where they treated them like animals. It needs to stop.
Yep.
So please stop. Please stop. Let me finish this. So
Is there a significance with the red, Tracy?
oh yes, well I haven't discussed it yet, but this is Chango, one of the Orishas in the African Yoruba tribe.
That's his color.
And this is his color. It's also white candles, by the way, but he's very passionate about justice.
Right.
And he clears the way for justice.
Yep.
And so Desi and I are doing, I don't know if I told you, Jason, but Desi and I are doing an amazing project where we're explaining, good boy, where they, he's like, who you calling Desi? I'm like, boy.
Oh, I thought that was Tony.
Where we're explaining, please guys, please stay focused. Where Desi and I are explaining who the Orishas are, who the forgotten gods and deities are, that belong to us, that we were always supposed to revere, or study, or consider, or pray to. Right, Jason? Right? We talk about this a lot. You know, the Asians have Buddha, Kuan Yin, Lakshmi. Like, why does the African culture have their people? Well, they do. So in any case, we're revisiting that. And then Beyonce came along simultaneously. I had no idea that she was going to produce what she was going to produce. But then Beyonce came along with a movie called Black is King. And that cracked an egg for a lot of people, Jason. It was like the first time people stopped, where people were able to say, what? What? But Desi and I, right now, our next one, by the way, Desi, I've already started writing it. And it's heavy.
Okay.
I'm finding every time I write about the Orisha, like each time it gets heavier.
It's heavy. Yep.
What do you mean by heavy?
Just the energies.
It's
and when she
talk about it right now, but go ahead.
Yeah. I was gonna say just the energies are heavy, and you can, when I read what Tracy's written and I edit it, like it feels like it's a channeling of sorts. So the energy is especially heavy. It's like she's getting the messages and then putting them down.
Which is why it took me so long to start. Yeah, I just, I praise you for being so kind to me, because I was worried you as a teacher would think what I wrote was just horrible.
No.
It took me
Not
forever
even
to
close.
write it. And then once I allowed myself, first I had to write it on paper just to get a draft. Chango is a little heavier, so now I've got 3 pages of it. But once I start writing, then it just flows in, and the historical messages that comes through. It's heavy, Jason. It's heavy, and we're trying to tell a story, and we're trying to tell the Black man in particular. None of this is your fault. How things have turned out a certain way, it's not even your fault. And we we want you to know, like, no one's blaming you anymore. If I went through what you went through, my God, I can't imagine what you're feeling. I cannot.
Oh no, my face, my neck.
And so we're just allowing ourselves to feel African, which is why I've got on it.
Dory, she's almost here.
For her birthday.
Almost here, yes.
Love it.
So, and it's an amazing experience. I'm glad, Desi, that you have come on board. Like, thank you.
I'm always down for a
And
good
without
project.
judging me.
especially
You know what I
writing.
mean? Like,
Oh,
she's
no.
not even judging me. She's like, I was afraid she was gonna think it was kindergarten writing, and
Listen, I deal with, like, you don't understand. I've taught 6th grade, 7th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, and I deal with students regularly whose reading level is kindergarten or 1st grade.
Praise him.
Unfortunately, they're, you know, and I love them to death.
If I don't perform better than you.
I could.
All right. Go ahead.
And I'm not saying that's you, but what I'm saying is, as a teacher, it requires a lot of patience. It is, you know, writing is a hard skill to teach, and it's a hard skill to learn if you don't have the knack for it. And there are a lot of I deal with a lot of students who writing is not their strong suit. And so I'm never going to look at you and be like, you know, and judge you for that, because it doesn't seem to be a lot of people's strong suits.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But it is yours. Just saying. I read it. I was like, ooh, it's yours.
I think the knack was in the way that you're saying. Yeah, let's go there. Yeah. Was in the storytelling.
Yeah.
And I think
absolutely
that makes the better difference. Like, I'm not trying to be a scholar. That's not going to come
right. That's not what this is about.
No. I'm not trying.
I mean, it is about the passion, the energy. It's about like that transference, right? Where it's like you're looking to take what you're interested in and communicate that. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And if you're passionate about it, it'll show. It always shows.
I mean,
if you're not into it,
I told you my own son was like, "Who wrote this?" And I was like, me. And I was like, "Boy, me? How do you think I raised you? Like, what did you think raised you? My God."
Well, I think most people think, well, it's just kind of what we talked about, where it is, where a lot of people write the way that they speak, right? And so when he hears you speak, he probably just assumes that that's the way it looks on paper too, but that's just not the truth.
Well, first of all, I'm a native New Yorker. I like to cuss. I talk and text in Ebonics.
That's what I mean. So he was probably, when you sent him that, he was probably like, all right, let me gear myself up to decipher this hieroglyphics or whatever. No. And then when it didn't come across that way, it was like, you know.
And then also, let's be very clear. This is a story that's going to remain for years. I already know it.
Yeah.
And so I want to be able to express on anyone's level.
Yeah.
Did you break it?
No, it was beautiful. It was quite poetic. Even.
Thank you.
It's quite poetic. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So we're selling it, Jason and Bella. We're selling this series of these Orishas, but we started with the men first. The women are easy to do. We're women. We're gonna do the Orishas, the women Orishas just fine.
The men are complicated, right? Men are complicated.
Wait, the men are complicated. Some of the stories in the Orishas, even, they're complicated. I'm like, oh, hell no. No wonder.
Yeah, no wonder.
No wonder.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to read it because I've been really reading up on ATRs and more about, I know about the Orishas and the hoodoo tradition, but not in the African tradition. So I've been, doing my own research and everything too. And you guys, it is really important. Just because you learn about something doesn't mean that you're automatically following it. You know, I've read the Quran. I'm not a Muslim, but I decided that I was going to educate myself because when I was married to my ex-husband, they're Christian, Middle Eastern. So the very skewed perception that they were always pushing was that, Islam is evil because they felt like they had been trivialized and made to move from their country because they were not willing to give up their religious beliefs. And so after we split up, my next door neighbor actually ended up being Muslim, and she was the nicest lady ever. And so I started asking her questions, and she gave me an English version of the Quran, and I read it, and I've read it multiple times just because I wanted to educate myself. And it's important that we seek knowledge to understand so that we're not scared of things or demonize it or have misperceptions. You know, and also obviously for me, because I deal with people from all walks of life and because I'm always standing up for the Black community, it's like I seek to understand so that way I'm speaking from a place of knowledge. But it is really, really fascinating. And then the other thing that I wanted to say is too, you know, it's very important as to your self-identity to understand where you come from.
Yes.
It gives you a sense of pride. It helps you understand why are, you know, like when we talk about, for example, like a lot of Black people are like, why are Black people scared of water? Well, it turns out because there is cellular trauma that's built into our DNA, and a lot of those people who are just inherently scared of water, it's because their ancestors were thrown off the slave ships and drowned in the ocean. And
DNA.
those things that we just don't understand. But when you start reading about it, it's like, oh my God, like now I understand why my whole family was always, don't go near water, don't go near water, don't do this, don't do that. And it gives you a lot of understanding about who you truly are when the more that you do that research.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot
Plus, it's
that
so
people
cool.
like. One of the things that I hate is, you know, the reference of us being loud. I hate that. And because it's just not culturally possible for us, especially in a group, to not be loud. It's who we are. And so no longer apologizing for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're loud. Okay. Okay. Right, Jason, we've talked about this.
That's why I love you, Tracy. Because you're well, you're you, but you're loud. You're loud and proud.
Jason, we've talked about this. If nothing else has come through from me, being loud. I'm funny loud. Upset
Yeah.
loud. You know, excited for you loud. Like, fuck everybody that see the love in that. What is that? You know what? I don't care anymore. I don't care.
No.
We come from a loud bunch of people.
Hey, I do too. That's why me and Tracy like each other.
It's people in England. It's people in the Caribbean. It's people in America. Just as the melanin in our skin, we're effervescently loud.
Right. The diaspora is loud.
The
You
what?
know? The diaspora, meaning everybody.
Yes.
Not just African Americans, but the Black, the diaspora.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we can't scale it back.
Yep.
Because we can't. And do you want to?
No.
Not anymore.
Nope.
I mean, we've had a whole generation that tried to assimilate. And when they tried to assimilate, you could see the phoniness in them. Hello, darling. Hello. 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 It's just not us. Hello. Hello.
You know, you do have the debate. You know, there is this debate between, you know, the W.E.B. Du Boises of society and the Booker T. Washingtons of society. And it was a raging debate, you know.
We've had old people make us feel bad about being loud.
Yeah. So
And
are
it
you a
turns
W.E.B. or a Booker T?
Yeah. And it turns out, guess what? I'm more fun. I'm kind. So please don't take the loudness out. One, I won't listen to you. But two, you're going to get a great person around you. And that's not tooting my own horn. That's seriously who I am. But loudness, that comes with the territory. Sorry. Ebonics comes with the territory. I'm not even stopping the Ebonics text anymore. I purposely, on my birthday, put, did you read it, Desi? It's my birthday, spelled wrong. Today, spelled wrong. And I wanted one idiot to tell me you spelled birthday wrong. No, I did it on purpose.
That wasn't me, was it?
No. Actually, nobody said anything ironically. I was waiting.
We need to.
I did it on purpose. I'm not trying to be your normal anymore.
Right. We definitely need to start recognizing African American vernacular English as a significant form of cultural expression. Period.
And not as Hood Dictionary. Like, don't categorize us. No. Like, we have a language, and Jason
it's significant.
Must have been here in the 70s. It was ridiculous, the language. right? I don't know, Bella, how old you were in the 70s. I know I was a kid.
Was Bella around in the 70s?
I was born in 1982.
Yeah.
Bella born yet?
It's like a
He wasn't born. We know she wasn't.
ancient history, the 70s.
I was born in 85, so.
Hey, Tracy, I remember the
We're just
70s.
a few years behind, okay? Not that
I
much.
wore bell bottoms as a kid in the 70s.
Yes,
Hand me downs.
I did not like bell bottoms, Jason. I actually hated the 70s. I thought it was the most disgusting era. However, now that we're in the revolution shall be televised moment in our lives, I appreciate the 70s now. Okay, honey, I appreciate the fight.
But are you wearing bell bottoms?
No.
I wore bell bottoms in high school, but they called them flares then.
Flares. I remember that.
What? What do you remember?
Oh, I was saying we wore bell bottoms in high school, but they called them flare jeans.
Flares.
Oh.
Yeah, they
We
called
went
them
from
flares.
wearing the big baggy pants, like, and dressing like we were all like Eazy-E or something like that. And
Our pants were skin tight.
Right as I went into high school, and then
Yeah.
right after I graduated from high school, it switched over in college to the skin tight, skinny jeans.
Skinny jeans.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I actually love the skinny jean era. My son is skinny. I thought he looked adorable in the skinny jean era. I loved it.
It's still a thing.
All right, Desi. We
Okay,
could go on
guys.
forever.
Yeah, we have been on for 3 hours.
Welcome
Oh my
to
God.
join us anytime.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, I know that too. Wolverines cause about the water too. I just, was trying to sneak in my little opinion before we got off.
Wait, I just wanted to point out that Kiana said, and I'm sick of people saying we don't have culture. Whoever said that? We are culture.
We created it.
us.
We are the
We
culture.
are the culture.
It's funny how
This is
people
the-
love to claim that we don't have one, but we influence so much.
Ty Williams says, Kiana, everyone has culture, but we are not connected to our culture and lifestyle. But I actually think everyone has culture and then connects to the Black culture. That's what I think.
Right. It's funny. That's so funny to me that people will say that, but we influence so much. Not just in America, but also globally, the global influence that Black culture has had. Right.
Well,
and it's so funny.
There is a culture.
Yeah. What are you talking about? There's a culture.
Absolutely.
There is the African culture and the African American culture. Well, let's not leave out the Caribbean, so we'll say Black culture here in America.
Yep.
And it's just that we're seeing more Black Americans connect to their Caribbean roots or their African roots, which should be encouraged because, the white community, they'll be real quick to be like, my grandpa came here at 19 from Ireland, you know, but then a
I'm
Black
Irish
person
Polish.
wants to be like, well, I found out that my grandma is from Ghana, and her people were from Ghana, and my dad's side of the family was from Senegal, and people are like, are you just African?
You not African?
Not think about him.
Why you calling yourself African American? You don't have any ties to Africa.
Tony was the same way.
Ancestrally,
how many
I
ties
do.
do the Irish people have to their ancestors in Ireland? I don't have no fucking
Right.
ties to my Spanish ancestors. I'm really honest with that. I'm way more in
Right.
touch with like the Mexican side of things because that was okay. I speak Spanish and everything with them, but like that's what happens. A lot of us got disconnected from it, but we should all be looking into it and trying to learn more about where our people came from and our ancestors and connecting to that.
Right. And I do think it's important to note how much African American culture specifically has impacted, other cultures and even globally. And, to the point of appropriation, even to some degree. And it's funny how, how much we touch and permeate the culture, but everybody claims that we don't have one.
But Just,
Go ahead.
I remember there was a time, again, just from Jason and my time, where Black culture stayed within the culture.
Right.
And then we were having so much fun in the culture that people were like, what's happening over there? What kind of music are they playing? Like, why do they dance the way that they do? Let me tell you something. The NFL, I remember that now in New York, in the hood, girls were wearing jerseys as dresses before it became apparel.
Yep.
I mean, it's little things like that.
And then the Jersey dress came back in the 2000s.
But isn't it spiritual too? Like in the spiritual realm, like the Baptist churches and all, just, you know, instead of it being like the very like prim and proper Episcopalian type of, you know, and now everyone rise, and, you know, where it's the whole organized thing, where it's like the whole born again, like evangelical.
Yes.
I mean, that seems to have, you know, roots in like the.
Jason, I didn't even think about it in terms of how the churches have changed over the years. Interesting. Because of
that's a really good point
on how Black culture praises.
Yeah, like how one like connects with the divine, right? I mean, what's more important than that?
Yeah, I agree. But listen, guys, I have my son's mother here.
Yes.
She's got a birthday to get to.
Huh?
Yes, indeed.
It's your birthday. You get to make the rules today.
Yes, and Tony's complaining like I'm abusing her. She's like, I gotta eat. Like, we had an amazing meal. Let me tell you something. Yemi donated to my breakfast for everyone. And then Letitia donated. And I told her I was going to use the money and make them buy me a present. That's the most Tony, don't even sit here. Don't try it.
Love it.
That was the most difficult experience I've ever had in my whole life. And Nasia also donated. And I'm going to take Nasia's money and get me some wine. Oh, I'm going to get me a $50 of wine.
Happy birthday to you.
Yes, indeed.
Happy birthday.
After this mess. All right, guys, get going.
All right, friends. Thank you guys so much
Thank
for
you.
watching.
Thank you, Tracy, for inviting me in. Desi,
Welcome, Jason.
Ella.
Welcome.
Much love to everyone.
Thank you, Jason.
Bye, Tony.
I'd love for you to do an industry reading.
Bye, Jason.
Thank you.
Guys,
I love y'all.
I love y'all.
Love you all too.
I love you too.